Also, I am recording this for YouTube later. Okay, so, new location, upper left. Yes, cat. Surely, this one will be checked off. Some love for PvP? Maybe. PvP is kind of like the redheaded stepchild of Final Fantasy. It is not the most loved thing, but it's technically there. Again, if we're going to a new place, you'll see under the X, so X1, I guess, you'll see new Beast Tribe. So that one is kind of, again, I feel like it's almost assuredly going to happen. So what I mean by that is, in the game, there is Beast Tribes you can do quests for. You've got the Amonja, which is giant bird people. You've got Ixiel, which are giant bird people, just not as buff. You've got kobolds. You've got Sahagins, which are the fish people. Sylphs, which are fairies. So those are the 5, right? So that was in patch number 1, so 2.0 technically. In Heavensward, patch 3, we got Moogle, Vath, and Vanu. Then in Stormblood, we got... Hey, stop. Cat, you are a pest and a menace, and we love you, but you need to stop rubbing your face on everything. In Stormblood, we got... Here comes the cat again. We got Namazu, Anata, and Kojin. Yes, cat. Do you want some love? For Shadowbringer... Yeah, the cat owns the stream. The cat's gonna get too much love for her own good. She's gonna be like tired of the pets and run. No, the cat will be fine. The cat will eventually settle down. She generally does. Okay. Then last up for Shadowbringers, we got Dwarf, Guattari, and Pixie. So honestly, if we're gonna get a new area, we are for sure going to be getting a new Beast Tribe. Cat, come on, man. What are you doing, man? You were like rubbing your head on things you've never rubbed your head on. Okay, so new Beast Tribe, assuredly going to happen. So we're gonna get there. New content for 4. That means new content for 4 players. There'll be some love. I was like, the music shifted. Cat, we gotta talk, man. We gotta talk. Okay, new content for 4 players. Yeah, that sounds dirty. Dude. Do you just... Okay. Yeah, you're getting love. Male Vieira. So, to explain, up until this point, Vieira, the bunny people... Get away, cat. Get away, man. The male Vieira is... Right. The male Vieira is, up until this point, Vieira are the bunny girls. And they have only been bunny girls. You've got the tall, lithe bunny Vieira. So let me see if I can pull up a picture that is safe for work. And suddenly, Nomad was into this game. Cat, come on, man. This is bait? Maybe not bait so much as... Show me. Hey, cat, come on. Copy image address. There we go. Bunny girls. Up until this point, there have been no bunny boys. People have been clamoring. That's bait. No, that's the Vieira. God, I mean... there was Fran from FF12, which is where they came from. And... This is official fan art. Not fan art. official art of the character. So, if we get Bunny Boys, the world collapses. I'm sorry. That's Fran from Final Fantasy XII, available on Switch and PC. That's definitely bait. I mean, probably. So, I want to talk about this one. So, male Viera would be Bunny Boys. So, hopefully we get that. I want to talk about, it's not next categorically, but we do have female Hrothgar. So, Hrothgar was actually introduced in Shadowbringer. And they are... What's up, Pixel? They are... Cat boys. They are lion boys, I should say. So, people want female Hrothgar. So we can have the big fur mama. Boys, those are men. We're boys here. We do already have cat peoples. I actually play a cat person right now, cat girl right now. But yeah. What's up, Pixel? We are just talking Final Fantasy. You can get your very own bingo board using !bingo if you were going to watch along with us. So, people are hoping for female Hrothgar. Hopefully that happens. We'll see. We don't know yet. NPC comes to life. That is about as cut and dry. An NPC comes back to life. So, NPCs that have been killed will be coming back, possibly. I'm hiding in the bedroom with the girl. Yeah. Okay. So, a named NPC comes back to life. Simple as that. That is also very much, and very similar on the opposite side of the spectrum of a known NPC dies. So, somebody dies, somebody comes back to life, you can mark it. We already talked about female Hrothgar. We got the new dungeon showcase. So, that's pretty much cut and dry. If a new dungeon is showcased, mark it off. Much with any MMO, buffs and nerfs will always be a thing. However, they don't always talk about them in a showcase based on explaining the expansion. So, on the outside, this one's on the outside one. If we get a buff, we talk about buffs and nerfs to certain classes or anything like that, or enemies, we get to mark it off. What up, kiddo? The 24-man raid revealed. So, as with every update, we get raids. So, in Realm Reborn, we had the Binding Coil and the Final Coil. Then Heavensward, we had Alexander. Stormblood, we had Delta, Sigma, and Alpha Scape. So we have the Omega series. Kiddo's running around somewhere in the background. I'm sorry, those weren't the 24-man raids. I've been lying to you. That's 8-player raids. But there is an 8 raid revealed. So that's on there as well. So we got that explained. For Alliance raids, 24 raids revealed. We got Labyrinth of Ancients, Syracuse, and World of Darkness. In Realm Reborn, Heavensward, we had Void, Weeping City of Mach, and Dunscaith. Stormblood, we have Rabanastre, Redoran, Ouroboros Monastery, and Shadowbringers. We had the Nier Automata raids. So we had Copy and we had a Copy Factory and Puppets Bunker. So if we get more raids, we get to mark it off as well. Again, as with every update, every expansion, we will surely be getting a new 24 raid. Whether or not they talk about it, that's when we decide when we mark it. Expanded character customization. Honestly, this one's one that I'm truthfully very much looking forward to. I am very much looking forward to expanded character customization. Yeah, I know, it's probably not the center focus, but, you know, I would like more options Then we got new trailers. Gotta love the trailers. You gotta love the trailers. Every trailer so far has been great. Speeding along because we are at less than 10 minutes till it's scheduled to start. We got Yoshi P, 3 square. Yoshi P's gonna be there. Hats for Viera and Hrothgar, pretty simple. Everybody's been wanting hats and for Viera and Hrothgar. Specifically ones that can interact with their mains and their ears. Guest developers, that may be up in the air because of COVID. So, maybe. New crossover event, we can all pray. Last crossover event we got technically would have been Yokai Watch, but before that would have been Nier Automata for the raids. So, there we go. I would say let's drink every time. Please look forward to it, as said. But I have a feeling that our livers would be destroyed. Yoshi P is very famous for saying, please look forward to it. So there you go. New DPS, pretty obvious. A new DPS class. Maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. If we get a release date, I hope you have your sound down low, and maybe you're not wearing headphones because there will be cheering about this. Release dates are always excellent. However, release dates can be moved, can be changed, can be just generally messed with. So, if we get a release date, we can all cheer and salute, but we expect it to change. And until the moment it's like, yeah, so tomorrow it's launching, the release date can be changed. Let's not do a Cyberpunk and go, oh my god, we need this now, and then we get the game and we go, this is shit. So, don't do it. New healer, much the same as DPS, just a new healing class. New limited job. Right now we have the Blue Mage as the only limited job. Maybe we'll get another one. I don't like limited jobs because they are very limiting. Known NPC dies. Opposite of known NPC comes to life. A new 8-player raid revealed. We already talked a little bit about the raids. Hopefully we'll get a new one. New housing restoration. So right now, all we have is the Ivalice restoration, and I think that's coming to a close. So maybe we'll get another one that we could all work on. And last but not least is Forspoken. Forspoken has been the teased title for this series, this new expansion. So Forspoken is the teased title. Everybody's been talking about it, but we're not sure. So if you're going to play along, be sure to put in ! Bingo, and you can play along with your own custom board. If you do get a bingo, let me know. And I know that some people, like I've said this before, I know some people are not as familiar with Final Fantasy, and that is totally okay. We're going to mark them together, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with it. I'm not going to sit there and go, I'm marking it in secret, haha, get wrecked. No. We're going to mark it publicly. We're going to mark it open. Please yell the answers to me. Nomad, mark the DPS. That's what it'll sound like. It'll be just little text going, Nomad, mark this. Mark this, Nomad. Yeah, but if you want to play along, be sure to do that. And if you want to join in late, we'll catch you up at the end. So be sure to let other people know, because we're getting ready to start in about 4 minutes. So get comfortable, get some popcorn, get a drink, get some bevs. Let your friends know that we are getting ready to go right into this. I am super looking forward to it. I have been sitting there just waiting and being ready and being excited for this. Honestly, I've been playing for a long time. So when Shadowbringers came out, I was pretty excited, and I played some of the stuff. Some of the stuff leading up to it, but I'd never done anything like this. Kiddos in the background. You're holding fire and eating snacks. Gotta save them for tomorrow. That is true. Before we do go live, I did want to say tomorrow, for us EST people, Nomad is actually doing a 24-hour stream of the Master Chief Collection. So, go look forward to that. I think it's going to be fun. So that's somewhere here playing along. It's going to be a lot of fun. I plan on being there for at least a couple of minutes. And I say that with very much sarcasm. I plan on being there. there a while. Your alert is still a thing. I don't know what happened to the picture, but your alert is still a thing, my dude. Why would I remove it? Why would I do such a thing? So, be sure to check him out tomorrow as he's doing a 24-hour birthday stream. It's going to be extremely hype. I hope that you'll join me in joining Nomad there. All right, let's move over to the different scene as we're getting ready to talk about Final Fantasy. You'll see I have it right here. Interact. Let's go full screen with this. We are live. Can you all hear it? You can. Okay, great. I'll watch it through here as well. It's a sick transition, by the way. Thank you. There we go. Can you all hear it just fine? And if you can't see it or anything, please let me know. And every so often when we are going to mark a bingo piece, you hear some music. Okay. Let's see if we can turn it up just a little bit. That is maxed out. I've got cat fur in the mouth. Where did my mic go? There it went. Is it getting louder for you? Hopefully. Because that's about as loud as I can make it. Yeah, man, it looks like it's going to continually do something, and it doesn't. Okay. I am super excited, and you'll see the bingo board pop up here and there. And you'll see it's the same bingo board, just smaller. And we will mark it together. And then after the show, we'll go on and talk more about it. Here just fine. I wasn't sure if it was from the announcement room or just some backing tracks. I have no music on right now. I had some earlier, but pretty much as soon as I went live, they started up the stream. So we started just listening to the prelude track. So that's they were playing the prelude track. So awesome sauce. Glad to hear that the sound is going well. So thank you everybody for hanging out. Be sure to tell your friends. We are getting ready to go super live. And I say super live, they're going to get ready to go live here in just a couple of minutes, to be honest. And so that'll be super duper fun. That's right, I use the words super duper fun. Not just super fun. Super duper fun. And we're going to have some fun along the way. So what's everybody else doing for the evening? Whoops, okay. I thought I was going to start doing some stuff. Oh, here we go. We are launching into it. Oof. Creative Business Unit 3, okay? I'm talking like this is like... I think we're gonna mark a trailer. Ooh. That's the judge. Oh no, it's not. Oh! They're on the moon! They're on the moon! Maybe?
The final days were upon us. The fabric of the star had begun to fray, its lands rent by tooth and claw.
Oh! Red Mage, baby! Oh! Paladin, baby! Machinist. Maybe?
Are you all right?
I can look after myself, you know.
Oh.
And I've had enough of this racket. Come on!
Is that a new class? Oh. Oh. What?
Past the far edge of fate. Bring blades dark.
Zeno's back.
Tony,
The fucking moon! We're going to the moon, baby! Yes! Yes! Endwalker! Oh my god! Fall 20 this year! This year! Okay, let's mark off some stuff here. We got new location. Do new trailer. Oh my god. Any else that we can mark off? Zeno, I think, was Zeno alive? Maybe. Maybe. We'll go ahead and mark NPC comes back to life. Oh my god! I'm uncomfortably aroused.
皆さんこんにちは。ファイナルファンタジー14プロデューサー兼ディレクターの吉田です。Hi guys, my name is Naoki Yoshida, producer and director of Final Fantasy
Arc Yoshi P.
Bonjour à tous et enchanté, je suis Naoki Yoshida, producteur et réalisateur de Final Fantasy XIV. Guten Tag zusammen, ich bin Naoki Yoshida, producer und director von Final Fantasy XIV というわけで、4言語で挨拶してみました。よろしくお願いします。ちょっとね、今日会場にね、観客いないので、ちょっとコメントを全部言うつもりか、Twitch も YouTube もコメント返してもらってるんで、すごいたくさんいる。ありがとうございます。
Thought they were gonna have it translated,
じゃあ
but
早速新情報発表会、お届けしようと思うんですが、グローバル対応なので僕一人ではとてもじゃないけどさばききれないので、今日僕のね心強いトランスレーター呼びたいと思います。
yeah, they're talking about translator.
コージフォックスです。
Oh, Yoshi P! It's so sad to see him.
コージよろしくね。
No cheering in that
On
crowd.
behalf of our producer and director, Naoki Yoshida, I'd like to welcome you all to the announcement showcase for everyone here and watching around the world. My name is Michael Christopher Koji Fox, and today I will be Yoshi P's English voice.
ありがとうありがとう。さすが英語上手だね。
Yeah, I'm pretty good at English. Just kind of.
So many comments.
Sorry there, Joe.
They're going too fast. I can't see.
いやありがとうございますありがとうございます。
Yes, thank you very much.
まあ例年だと、まあ、今回新情報発表会っていうのをねわざわざやるのはやっぱりこう世界中でどうしてもね広がってしま
I
う
love his shirt.
新型コロナウイルス、の対応ということでなかなかファイナルファンタジー14ファンフェスティバル必ず大規模に世界中でやってるんですけどまあそれができてないと。
So usually around this time of the year or even earlier, we would be holding a Final Fantasy fan festival to announce.
I want to go there one day.
But because of the pandemic, that has limited us.
世界中の
I wanna go to Fan Fest.
方が我
So
々
bad.
の生活のために戦ってくれている中、まあ、やっぱりどうしてもこう僕らもね世界に打って出て、まあ、アナウンスするっていうのが難しい状況の中で今回は日本で映画館を借りてですね皆さんにファイナルファンタジー14の最新情報これからの未来を
No reference to COVID.
Because there are people around the world putting out their most to fight this pandemic and make sure that it doesn't spread any further. We've decided to hold this announcement showcase here in a theater in Japan to do our part.
で
Damn,
まあ
nice.
パッチ 5.2
Respect
から 5.3 の間に約2ヶ月半から3ヶ月スケジュールのね開発もやっぱり止まってしまうっていう状況があってどうしても今日発表させていただいた次なるファイナルファンタジー14の拡張エンドウォーカーっていうのもやっぱりちょっと時期が ずれていってしまってます。
Endwalker.
As you remember, back around during right around the
FanFest.
patch 5.2 and 5.3, because of the pandemic, we had to slow down our development for about 2.5 to 3 months.
Yeah,
Because
FanFest.
of that has affected the release date of Endwalker.
ですので今日はですね、ファンフェスティバルの基調公演1回目プラスアルファぐらいで、聞いていただければ、この先ねデジタルファンフェスもあります。今回とそのデジタルファンフェスと2回に分けてこの最新拡張エンドウォーカー行月のフィナーレのお話をしていこうと思います。
So today we'd like you to treat this announcement showcase as our first big fan festival, like the keynote announcement that we have at our first fan festival. And then of course, later in the year, we're going to have our digital fan festival, and there we'll be releasing even more information.
はい、というわけで今日は可能な限り、新情報をお届けしていきたいと思います。
All right, and so today we're going to try to tell you as much as we can.
さあ、まずはですね、トレーラー先ほどご覧いただきました。まだまだティザートレーラーではありますが、
Oh, fair.
週末を思わせるような、惨状が
Is the announcement audio okay for you, Nomad?
We saw our first teaser trailer, and even though it was a teaser, it was filled with lots of exciting information about Endwalkers and the second
Okay.
of the final days.
どうやらね、
Whoa!
面々は
Second coming of Final Days. That's
知
big.
るような様子が描かれてました。
Hey, cat.
And we saw how the Warrior of Light and members of the Scions were, again, battling against the coming of the final days for trying to prevent it.
というわけで、
まだ
こちら、
Nice.
ファイナルファンタジー14 6
Yes!
エンドウォーカー行月のフィナーレと読みます。
I know what I'm taking vacation.
1年秋を目指して開発を進めております。
And so, our newest expansion, 6.0 Endwalker, is slated for release in fall of 2021.
そういえば、工事、
Dude, I'm so happy.
1.0 からね、ずっと
So happy.
参加してくれてるよね。
Right, yeah, I've been around since 1.0. So,
今日実際この放送を見てくださってる方にも多分ね 1.0 からやって
there's
くださって
probably
る
a
方
lot of players watching today as well that have been around since 1.0.
2.0 for me. 2.0.
を見ると
Right in before Heaven's Ward.
おーすごいたくさんいらっしゃいますね。ありがとうございます。このアートワークですね、実は 1.0 の時に似たような構図のアートワークがございます。若き日のね。
Such a great photo.
If you recall, there is a similar type of artwork that we had back in 1.0, back when the Warrior of Light was a lot younger, but
Yep.
doing a similar type of pose.
はい、ぜひね、ちょっと
I remember that art, actually.
的にね、ちょっとその成長というかね、軌跡を照らし合わせてみたので、そういったところもね、見ていただけると嬉しいかなと思います。
We'd like players to take a look at this and remember back to that 1.0 Warrior of Light and see how he has moved forward and see how he's developed over the years.
まあ僕もね、年取りましたね。
Yeah, we've also come along in years as well.
というわけで今回、このなんだろうプロモーションでね頑張っているこう光の戦士、今回は主役ナイトジョブに、ジョブチェンジして活躍してくれそうです。
And so as you can see here, our Warrior of Light
Mhm.
will
Yep.
Be fighting this expansion as a paladin.
I
さ
will.
て、では早速中身について触れていこうと思うんですが、こういうタイミングいつも僕ストーリーのお話からするんですけど、
Okay, so now we want to get into a little bit more of the content of Endwalker.
Yes.
Usually at this point in the keynote, we'll start talking about the story.
さっきねトレーラーの中に気になるシーンがあったと思うので、最初はこちらの情報から今回行こうかなと思います。
But as you saw in the trailer, there is something that was very important, and we want to touch upon
We're on the
that
motherfucking
before
moon.
we get into the story.
New jobs!
こ
New
の
jobs!
ですね、
It's me.
新たなジョブを、複数、まあ2つなんですけど、このエンドウォーカーで2つのジョブを実装させていただこうと思います。
So for Endwalker, we are planning the release of multiple jobs, 2 new jobs.
2 new jobs!
前回
Two new jobs!
思い出すとですね、ファンフェスでこうジョブを発表していった時にですね、ヒーラーがいねえぞというのをですね、世界中のプレイヤーの方から言われまして、
I don't know if it'll be limited. We'll find out.
Fan Festival, when we announced the new jobs, we had a lot of feedback from players all around the
Feedback.
world saying that we didn't have enough healers and we needed new healers.
なので、まず今回は先に、今回実装する2つの新しいジョブのロールを、お伝えしてしまおうと思います。
So, before we get into which new jobs we're going to be releasing, we want to tell you at least which roles those two jobs will be.
Two jobs.
もちろん一つは、世界中からご要望いただいたヒーラーを新たなジョブとして、
That would be great.
実装させていただきつつ、
The translator.
もう一つは近接物理 DPS を
DPS?
予定です。
And so, the first role will be healer.
Ooh!
Second will be melee DPS.
Yes! I marked two!
そうネットのを見て
Healer and DPS?
なぜかですね、力士が実装されるんじゃないかっていう予想が結構見えてて、どっからその予想が出てきたのかすごい不思議なんですけど。
So we've been checking out, the.
Hopefully you guys are doing pretty good as well.
People have been speculating the new job to be, and the guesses have been kind of off for the most part.
結構ね、コメントでも近接メレー DPS ってことは力士だろ待ってたみたいなことはあるんですけど、力士ではございません。
So yeah, we're not talking about any sumo wrestlers for that melee DPS. Will be something.
Nice.
今回トレーラーに登場していた、アルフィノ、彼がまさに新ジョブへとジョブチェンジしております。
So, as you saw in the trailer, it is Alfino that has changed into that new job.
I thought it was a new job.
今日はですね、
Thought it was machinist. Then no.
ジョブのうち一つ、ヒーラーの新ジョブについてご紹介していこうと思います。
So today, at this announcement showcase, we'll be revealing one of the two new jobs, and that will be the healer job.
では、
Okay.
早速ではありますが、その新ヒーラージョブの、動画をご用意してありますのでご覧いただきましょう。
And so, rather than explaining it, we'd first like you to show you a video of that healer job in action. Here we go.
Healer job. Oh. It's me. That's me. I'm leveling this up. No questions asked. Dude, it's like Penny from Ruby. I'm like uncomfortably aroused. Sage! Yes!
今回ですね、行月のフィナーレ、新ジョブ第1弾は、
My pants
込
tightening.
めた武器を、操る賢者というジョブ名になっております。
So,
Dude.
the first new job for Endwalker is Sage, sporting a unique ether-imbued weapon.
Yes!
CG でもご紹介して、アートと CG でご紹介していこうと思います。
We have some CG and some art that we'd like to show you.
Looks like Penny from Ruby.
ね、14オリジナルの武器を操ることになります。
So, as you can see, the weapon that the main arm that the Sage will be using is a Final Fantasy XIV original.
まあ、ある人がどのようにこの新ジョブ
I love it.
にしていくのかというのはメインストーリーの方で語られていきますので、そこはね、ストーリーの方をご覧いただければと思ってます。
So, why did Alfino happen to take up this new profession? You'll have to play through the main story of 6.0 to find out.
はい。では、賢者の
Oh, we also got a release date.
ではありますが、ご紹介していこうと思います。
We'll call it fall.
So now we'd like to give you a simple rundown of how.
We'll give you. We'll call that one. Release date fall.
賢者の特徴、まあ一つ目、まあヒーラー、
Healer.
ね、お伝えしましたロールはヒーラーとなります。
So as we mentioned before, the role is going to be a healer.
白魔導士、学者、
Yes.
それから先生術師に続く第4のヒーラーとして、今回賢者が追加となります。
And so Sage will be our fourth healer behind White Mage, Scholar, and Astrologian.
Okay.
そしてですね、武器は
Golets?
という14オリジナルになりますね、武器を使います。
As we mentioned before, the main arm for the Sage is going to be a Final Fantasy XIV original called the Newliths.
New
魔力
lifts.
でこれを
I
操
love
作
it.
っていう感じなんですけど、後ろにある4つの、武器、あれがグラフィックス変わっていろんな武器になっていくというふうに
And
思って
so
ください。
this weapon is controlled by the ether, by the magic that the player has. And as you see, those 4 items back there, that is the weapon. The visuals of those will change depending on what type of weapon is equipped.
そして、当然、クラスの方は、ございません。ジョブからいきなりスタートとなります。
And as has been the case recently, there is no required class, and you'll start directly from the Sage job.
Dude.
に関しては、70から予定しております。
I'm switching to that when it comes out.
Level is planned to be 7.
いずれかのですね、
Level increase?
レベル70に到達していて、この狂月のフィ
That's only 10 from start or 10 from end.
拡張権利がついていれば、すぐにでもね、始められるようになってます。
And so there are 2 conditions for playing the Sage. One is that you have at least one job, one other job that is level 70 or above, as
Say,
well
I have
as
it.
you have purchased the Endwalker expansion.
Okay, that's easy.
では、バトルイメージの方も、簡単にご紹介していこうと思います。
Let's take a look at a little bit. Take a look at the battle style of the Sage.
I think that they're gonna have to increase level cap.
セージはバリアヒーラーという役割になっております。
Barrier healer.
So we look at the Sage as a barrier type healer.
Okay.
今までバリアヒーラーというのはですね、まあ学者、まあ白魔同士
80 is the cap right now.
いて、
That's why I'm like, they have to increase it.
で今回、なるほど、じゃあ賢者はバリアヒーラーとして実装されるのね。じゃあ先生術師はってなると思うんですけど。
That would be nice, actually.
So as you know, we have our white mage, which can be considered a pure healer, and we have our scholar, which is more of a barrier healer. And so if this time the sage is also going to be a barrier healer, then what's going to happen with Astrologian?
ヒーラーはですね、今回 6.0 から、ピュアヒーラー2ジョブ、それからバリアヒーラー2ジョブ
Astro changing?
明確に区分したバランスで取っていこうと思っていて、先生術師を完全にピュアヒーラー寄りに、回収していきます。こちらについてはですね、後日また詳しくどう変わっていくのかお伝えしようと思ってますが、ロールとしてはヒーラーの中でもピュアヒーラーとバリアヒーラーが分かれていくというふうに思ってください。
So, starting in 6.0, we are planning to make a clear distinction between pure healers and barrier healers. We want to have 2 pure healers and 2 barrier healers.
Okay.
So, with 6.0, we plan on performing some retooling of the Astrologian job to make the Astrologian job a more pure healer.
もちろんですね、レイドファインダーとかのマッチングもちゃんとピュアヒーラーとバリアヒーラーで
Are we going to talk about buffs and nerfs?
そちらにも手を加えていくつもりです。
And this will extend to our matching in the raid finders to make a distinction between barrier healers and pure healers.
Ooh, okay. I'm in for it.
My comments going so quickly.
早すぎてわからない。
Sands in Final Fantasy.
What's going on?
はい。そしてですね、武器に関しては魔法によって剣
Video feed is quiet. That might just be you,
い
dude.
ろんな回復だったりですね、攻撃だったりバリアを張ったりということをやっていきます。
And as we mentioned before, the sage will use ether to manipulate their weapons and new lists in combat, whether that be for healing, whether that be for attacking, whether that be for putting up barriers.
それからですね、
Thanks, Doug, for the
ファイ
34.
ナルファンタジー14は各ジョブでゲーム体験を変えていくっていうところを
I'm joking around Sands for Smash.
賢者の場合は一時的に、自分の魔法を強化していくっていう新しいそのプレイ感っていうのを目指して開発を進めています。
And because we try to make our jobs unique from the other jobs to give a different kind of experience for each job, we're trying something here with the Sage where they're able to temporarily augment their own magic abilities to make them more
Ooh, okay.
まあその攻防一体っていうところもあったりしていろいろまたこれまでのヒーラーとは全然異なる体験をお届けしようと思ってますのでぜひ楽しみにお
Can
待
you
ち
hear it better, Doug?
We believe the experience that we will be providing with the Sage will be completely unique and a lot of fun. Please look forward to it.
So use
そしてですね
exclamation mark
ジョ
bingo.
ブクエスト、この賢者になるためのジョブクエストに関しては、リムサロミンサから開始予定です。ですので、今日月のフィナーレ、エンドウォーカーがリリースされてすぐ、ジョブクエストを開放して、新しいジョブでね、冒険を進めていくことも可能になります。
And so this job quest for the Sage will be offered in Limsa. So
Okay.
if you want to play the new 6.0 main scenario as the Sage, you will be able to do that.
Good. New class, dude.
からですね、僕コメン
We'll
ト
go back over it at the end,
拝
dude.
見していると、なんかね、
We'll probably watch the trailer again, too.
ファンデルっていう単語が出てるんですよ。
Yeah,
So
we'll do a
looking at the
recap.
comments, you see lots of things that are mentioning kind of Gundam, that the new lists are kind of Gundam-like.
よくわかんない。それに関してはね、まあ、ここに書かれてる通り、まあ、ノーコメント。
But
No comment!
no comment.
Yeah, they did.
お忘れなく。
They opened it up with it.
New list. It's completely original.
They announced it, yeah. It's called,
これらを踏まえて、
End
ちょっとイメー
something.
ジついたと思うので、それを踏まえてですね、もう一回動画をご覧いただこうかなと思っております。
All right, so with all of this in mind, let's have one more look at what the Sage can do in that showcase video again. Play the video.
Endwalker. That's what it's called. Sweet PowerPoint, bros! Sweet PowerPoint! Man, I love this video! I'm playing this class, Doug. Healer. It's a healer class. It's a barrier healer. So I'm going to be switching over to that one. Endwalker. We're going to the moon, baby. Here's the bingo card that I have. Get your own! Exclamation mark bingo.
That was the job showcase video.
まあなんかちょっとおしゃれでスタイリッシュですよね。
It's a
He
very
changed
stylish job,
shirts!
you'd say. Wait. Yoshi-P?
はい。アップカップ。
Dude, he changed quick.
Uh-huh. And anything else?
何？
Something else?
いや、ノーコメント。
No comment.
Yeah,
Okay.
まあ
new DPS is coming too.
新しいジョブのね。
Dude, make your own bingo board. Use exclamation... Oh, you did. My
で
bad.
すけど、まあもう一個追加するよって言ってる近接命令 DPS に関しては、また、次のですね、デジタルファンフェスティバルの方でお届けしていこうかなと思います。
Oh, you're on your phone. My bad.
なんかコメントがね、すごいザワザワしてるんですよね。
So we'd like you to please look forward to this new Sage job. Concerning the second job that we have planned,
Please look forward to it.
we will be revealing that in May at the Digital Fan Festival.
May.
ナイトって書いてあって、もういるじゃん。
Dark Knight? People are guessing that the second job is Dark Knight?
意外とあれです
You already did it?
なぜか急にネクロマンサーが入ってる声。
Necromancer.
ネクロマンサーって何のこと
What's the Necromancer?
よくわからないですね。
He's been said there's not going to be a necromancer.
さらなる進展に関してはまた後日お届け
Yes.
して
We will have more information on the new job at a later
お
date.
ります。もうなんかネクロマンサーか力士かって書いてあって、力士は忘れてほしい。
Yeah, please. Yeah, it's not going to be
はい。
aggressive. No. Not.
さあ続いて、じゃあセクションを進めていこうと思います。
Alright.
続いては、ストーリーにちょっと触れていこうかなと思っております。
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the story in Endwalker.
その前にですね、
Okay.
ちょっとタイトルにご注目いただきたい。
Okay, to start, I'd like to draw your attention to our title.
ファイナルファンタジー14
Okay, Final Fantasy XIV.
エンドウォーカー
Endwalker.
行月のフィナーレ
We translate this. This is the Dawn Moon finale.
ファイナルエンドフィナーレ
Final end finale.
No.
Sense of pattern.
Please don't be the last one.
It's gonna end.
このキーワードが示すのはメインストーリーの大きなサーガとして約10年にわたって、お届けしてきたハイデリン・ゾディアーク
I hope
と
not.
呼ばれているサーガが今回、この 6.0 行月のフィナーレで完結を迎えます。
They've said Zodiark and Heidelin.
These are all keywords that allude to the ending of this 10-year saga of Heidelin and Zodiark.
こちらですね、
That's it. We'll talk about that afterwards.
僕が担当になってですね、2013年にレウムリボン、リリースさせていただきました。
So if you look back at my history with Final Fantasy XIV, it all began in 2013 with A Realm Reborn.
まあこちら神聖のアーサー。
So you look at this as
We'll talk about
a new
what that means. And Heidelin and Zodiark.
拡張パッケージ第1弾、ヘブンズワード、蒼天のイシュガルドは、まあ蒼天の昼かなと。
And so then we move on to our first large expansion, Heaven's Word, which represented that clear blue sky that you have at midday.
そして2つ目の拡張、東方にも光の戦士の皆さん冒険広がりました。
And then on our second expansion, the Warrior of Light headed east.
ストーンブラッド、グレンの日暮れと。
And in Stormblood, we came upon a crimson twilight.
そして、
Not ready for it to
非
end.
常にご好評の声をいただいた、前回の拡張パッケージ、シャドウブリンガーズ、漆黒の夜となっております。
And then finally, our most recent expansion that was praised around the world by fans. We have Shadowbringers and the Black of Night.
そして今回、次なる拡張パッケージ、エンドウォーカーによって、惑星ハイデリン、星の、命をめぐる物語というのがちょうど綺麗に一周するところで、ハイデリン・ゾディアーク編完結させていくつもりです。
A new dawn.
And with Endwalker, we've come full circle in the tale of life and Heidelin.
さて、これまでの拡張パッケージ
That's what I think
い
too.
ただきたいんですけど、例えばですが、前回のシャドウブリンガーズ、今パッチ 5.4 まで来てますが、5.0 単体でのもちろんエンドロールっていうのもありますが、漆黒のヴィランズの物語が綺麗に最終的に完結するのはパッチ 5.3 でした。
So normally with our expansions, as you know, we don't end the story at that first expansion.
No.
While in 5.0, for example, we did get that end credits at the end of 5.0, the story wasn't actually finished until 5.3.
Right.
今回はこの 6.0 その内容で全て綺麗に完結させるつもりです。
However, with Endwalker and 6.0, we plan on having the story complete itself by the end of the actual expansion 6.0.
ただですね、ちょっとコメントすごいザーザーしてるんですけど、これでですね、もちろんファイナルファンタジー14が終わってしまうわけではございません。
But of course, this does not mean that we are shutting down Final Fantasy XIV and ending the game at this point.
パッチ 6.1 からはハイデリ
Final Fantasy XIV to Electric Boogaloo.
させていくつもりです。
Beginning in patch 6.1, this will mark the beginning of an entirely new adventure separate from the Zodiark Heidelin saga.
I'm in for it. I'm in for it.
あれ、吉田やめんのかなみたいなコメントがちょっと見受けられるんですが、
And then I've also seen some people thinking that Yoshi-P is leaving the project at this point.
私はやめません。そのまま、もうなんか、ほぼライフワークなので、お前もういいよと、社長からですね、言われるまでは、ライフワークのように
He's never gonna leave.
続けていきますので、ぜひですね、もちろん 6.0 楽しみに遊んでいただきたいんですけど、その先もですね、死ぬまで頑張ろうかなと思っているので、ぜひこれからもですね、14ともどもですね、僕もよろしくお願いします。
But I want to assure everyone that I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving the project. I look at Final Fantasy XIV as my life work, or at least until the president tells me to stop. Yes, 6.0 will be ending the story, but from 6.1 on, we have an even greater story. And I personally feel that I'm probably going to end up being with Final Fantasy XIV for my whole life.
はい、時々ね、 そろそろやめんじゃないのみたいなの出るんですけど、やめるときはちゃんと言いますし、まあやめる気はないので大丈夫です。はい。
Every now and then I do hear a lot of rumors about people thinking that I might quit and leave the project. If I will leave the project, I will make sure I let you all know. But for now, I feel that this is my life work and I have no plans on leaving.
結構厳しいです。
Good guy, Yoshi P.
People are telling me that I should continue this even after I die. Necromancer? Necromancer?
ネクロマンサーって死体操る方じゃないの？自分を操る。ああ、なるほどね。
The banter's adorable.
I'll do my best.
なので、別段心配なくですね、このハイデリン・ゾディアークという物語
No, not anytime soon.
をですね、僕ら全力で皆さんに、お届けしていこうと思うので、それをぜひ味わっていただきたいです。
So again, please do not worry. We're working very hard on the 6.0 story, and we believe it's something very exciting, and hope you look forward to it. And we're working on stuff after that as well.
じゃあ、ストーリーの前段をちょっとまとめてみましょうか。
So let's take a look at the actual content of this story.
Okay.
第一世界へ皆さん行き、運命の反逆者として、まあ、滅びの運命から運命を変えてですね、今新たな未来へ進んでいってますが、そもそも太古に起きた終末とはまあ何だったのかとか。
So your journey up until now has taken you to another world, the first, where you became the warrior of darkness and averted the destruction of the star.
Yep.
And it was there that you learned of the final days, these calamitous events that gave birth to Zodiark and Hydaelyn.
Right.
まあ、ゾディアーク、そしてハイデリンとは今どうなってるのかとかね。すべての謎を解き明かすため、プレイヤーの皆さん、光の戦士はついに惑星ハイデリンを離れ、月へと向かっていただくことになります。
So what is going on with Zodiark and what is going on with Hydaelyn? How does their story end? We'll learn all about that, as well as depart from Hydaelyn and move to the moon.
多くのですね、
The wizards from the moon.
思いを受け継いで光の戦士はハイデリンゾディアーク編最後の謎に挑んでいきます。
People across Hydaelyn are putting all of their hopes and dreams
Moon's
into
haunted.
the Warrior of Light to save them from this, and so this will be a journey that will take the Warrior of Light there to find out what's going on and to save the planet.
テレポしたらなんとたったの999ギルって書いてあって月まで。
Someone's commenting that for the low, low price of 999 gil, you can teleport to the moon.
いや、わかんないよね。
Who-
ねえ、9万ギルとか取られるかもしれないよね。
Not what? 90,000 gil to the moon.
Oof.
これまでね、ハイデリン・ゾディアーク編、漆黒のヴィランズでもかなりの謎を解き明かしてきましたが、まだまだ多くの謎残ってます。
So a lot of questions have been answered up until now in our expansions, but there's still a lot of questions that have left to be answered.
終末というのはそもそもなぜ起きたのか。
So why?
Good questions.
What brought about the final days?
No blitzball.
ハイデリンとゾディア
No
ークと呼ば
blitzball.
れている存在は今どうなっているのか。
What became of Hydaelyn and Zodiark, and what is happening with them now?
そしてガレマール帝国というもともとね非常に強い軍事
No
力で
blitzball.
ロゼアを支配していたガレマール帝国はどうなるの？
And of course, you have the Garlands Empire, once a very, very powerful force across the whole realm. What has happened to them? What is their fate?
そして活動し始めたゼノスとアシェン・ファダニエルの目的は何なのか。
And what are Xenos and the Ashians, Fandaniel's aim, and what is their plot?
そしてですね、月行くのはいい
True. That would actually be kind of cool.
空気とかね、あるのみたいな。何あるの月って。
And so all know we're going to the moon, but how are we going to get there? Is there any air on the moon to breathe? What is on the moon? Monsters.
Nomad, they brought your question. How's he breathing?
僕ら全力で皆さんに全てきれいに
Is there air on the moon?
解き明かされていくように
Who's to say?
お届けしようと思います。
The dev team is currently working very hard on this story. To make something
They touched that question,
exciting
Nomad.
to give you all the information you need and answer all of those lingering questions.
まあ、もちろんね、その時光の天使がどうなっていくのか、それから暁の血明のメンバーがどうなっていくのか、それからですね、託された古代人たちから託された思いというのはどうなるのか、俺らはぜひ皆さんの目でお確かめ
Probably magic.
So all of these questions will be answered, not just the fate of the Warrior of Light, but also the fate of the Scions, and we'll find what is the dying wish of the
Anime waifu thick thighs.
in Endwalker.
Oh, thigh highs, my bad.
ね、月来たらね、エヴァンゲリオンとか。
Evangelion!
We're gonna find Evangelion in the moon up there.
さあ、ではちょっと、キャラクター
Yoshi
トレーラー
P.
の方から見ていきましょう。
Alright, so let's have a closer look at the characters that we saw in the trailer.
まずアルフィノ、
Alfino
今回、新ジョブ賢者にジョブチェンジしています。
Evangelion
アルフィノが着ている衣装が、新ジョブ賢者のジョブ専用装
Earned
備
drip.
Okay, and so first up we have Alfino, our new resident sage. The gear that he's wearing in the trailer is the Sage AF gear, but it's been designed especially for him.
Sage AF. He's sage as fuck, boy!
双子の妹アリゼですね。
And then next up we have his twin sister Alize.
まあ引き続き彼女は赤魔導士としてどうやら戦っていくようです。
And as you can see, she is still fighting as a red mage. No job change for her.
でようやくですね、どうやら彼女新しいコスチュームに着替えるようです。ちょっとね、寂しそうだったんで。
Sage
着替える
AF.
But she will be getting a costume change. She didn't get one before. She's finally getting one.
まあこのコスチュームがですね、誰にどういう思いとともに、渡されていくのかというところにもちょっとご注目いただければと思ってます。
And you may be surprised to see who she gets it from and how.
そして続いてはですね、アシエン・ファダニ。
Fandaniel.
We have the Ashen Bandana.
まあ、転生組のアシエン・ファダニエルですが、グレー編に登場したアサヒというキャラクターの体の
They're not potates.
彼の目的
They're not
は
Lalafell.
何なのか。
Right? And so the Sundered Ashen Fandaniel, as you know, he currently inhabits the corpse of Asahi, who first appeared in Stormblood, but we still don't know too much about him.
結構ね、彼ね、嫌われてるんです。
Fandaniel! What are those?
People love to hate this guy.
ただですね、大丈夫、ご安心ください。彼は
Damn,
ラスボスではございません。
Daniel.
Do not worry, he is not the last boss.
まあラスボスじゃないんですけど、まあ彼にはね、さらに実はまだ大きな秘密があるんですが、そちらもかなり完全なスポイラーになるので、単純なお話ではないというのだけお伝え
I did.
And he's keeping a pretty big secret, a very complex secret. And if we say any more, it'll be too much spoilers.
He's keeping it a secret of what are those?
はい、そしてこれがもう一人出てましたね。
Right, and last but not least, we have
ゼノス、彼もまたですね、表舞台へと登場しそうですが、まあ彼の望みはもうとにかく友である皆さん、光の戦士と英雄と再戦したいというだけです。
and he's ready to take the stage once again, and he has a singular purpose. His one purpose in life is to battle with his friend and enemy, the Warrior of Light.
いやいや、もちろん
True.
皆さんが彼のことを
Good point, Doug.
持ってないというのは僕もよく知ってます。
Niff and
We
Alice.
understand that not a lot of you think of him as a friend.
ただですね、彼の友情は一方的で非常に強いので、
It's a good point, dude.
諦めてください。
But he most certainly feels that way about you. You are his friend.
Aww. He just wants to give those hugs and smooches.
さてどうなっていくのか。
And it does look like he has a change of wardrobe as well. But to find out any more, we'll have to play Endwalker.
He's Sage
も
AF.
っとたくさんのキャラクター登場してですね、ある意味ハイデリンゾディアク編、皆さんが10年以上にわたって、冒険してきた
Would you fuck
一
me?
家の
I'd
総
fuck
決
me.
算になる予定なので、どんなキャラクターが入り乱れてくるのか、ぜひご期待ください。
And you know, it has been 10 years since the beginning of this Highland and Zodiac saga, and you've met a lot of characters along the way, and we hope to bring back a lot of those characters for this story in 6.0.
まあ、ストーリーについてはね、すべての謎を解き明かしていくので、ちょっとこれ以上はネタバレが多すぎるので、ここまでにさせてい
I'm
ただき
coming
ます
back,
が
boys.
So there are a lot more mysteries regarding the game's story, but it's so hard to talk about it further without revealing any spoilers. So
まあ、漆黒のヴィランズでもね、驚いて。
And Godzilla kills us all.
ファイナル
There you go, I spoiled it for you all.
シーズがね、そんな単純な話で終わるかというのだけ、なんとなく思っといてもらえれば、びっくりしてもらえる仕掛け、たくさん用意していきたいと思います。
And you know, as was the case with Shadowbringers, this story is not going to be a simple one. It's going to be a very complex and intricate story that will sure to bring lots of surprises and excitement.
はい。では、続いて
There's the power of.
6.0 エンドウォーカーの全体像についてちょっとお伝えしていこうと思います。
Okay, now that we've talked a little bit about the story, let's get into
I
actual
think it said Zentai, and I'm like,
content that we'll be
we gotta
making.
do some henshin stuff?
さあまず最初のセクションこちらです。
So we're going to start with
レベルキャップが解放
Yes! Level 90!
こちらですね、レベル80から90へとなります。まあ知ってたってみんな言うんですけど。
All my crafters go up!
I mean, pretty much everyone saw this coming.
まもなく100ですよ。
We'll soon almost be at 100. We're very close.
ずいぶん頑張って続けてきたね。
It's been a long, long
Same dude. No.
はい、そして、拡張パッケージといえば新しいフィールドの追加です。今回も過去の拡張と同じ規模で、フィールドの追加を行っていきます。
So you cannot have an expansion without new areas, and we're planning to add new locales on the same scale as we have had in our previous expansions.
We already got new location.
現段階でお見せできる
We already had the moon.
スクリーンショットで一部だけ、今日はちょっと一部になっちゃいますがご紹介していこうと思います。
So today we can't show much, but we do have a few screenshots and pieces of artwork to show you of some of the new areas.
It looks beautiful, dude.
ショータウン
So we're starting off with one of our smaller towns.
ご紹介したいと思います。こちら
Oh!
This is it.
どこだ
That's
これ
beautiful!
This is.
こちらの名前はですね、ラザハンという、町になります。
This city
Yes!
will be Razathan.
もうちょっと近づいたね、スクリーンショット見てみましょう
Let's take a closer look.
か。はい、入り口。
Yes!
There's a screenshot of maybe the entrance, the main entrance gate.
I love that city!
はプレイヤーの皆さんになんだろう、14って拡張するとってこう大タウンと小タウンっていうのがあって、漆黒のヴィランズだと、まあ、ユールモアに該当する場所。
It's a mask above the door, though.
So with each expansion, we usually release two towns, one smaller and
Agreed.
one larger town. This is going to be the smaller town for 6.0, kind of on the same scale as yours.
Not yet.
From
We'll go over some talking points, Rich.
ゼロでいうクリスタリウムに該当する大タウンはどこなんだよって聞かれると、それはまだ内緒です。
We will recap.
The large town is going to be like, we really cannot talk about that yet.
ではちょっと建物の中も少し見てみましょう。
So let's go inside the town. Take a look.
エーテライトが回ってます。
Dude, that looks gorgeous.
今までのファイナルファンタジー14のまた文化圏にないところへ、行っていただくことになるかな。
The design here has a cultural flair that's a little bit different from anything that we've seen in Final Fantasy XIV up until now.
Yeah.
で、まあこれどこなんだっていうとですね。
Or Endwalker.
なんですけど、ファイナルファンタジー14のシナリオにこれまで、クエストとかですね、サベネア島っていう場所が、たくさん言葉としては出てきてます。
Where
Mm-hmm.
exactly is Razathan? Well, a lot of players that have been playing 14 for a long time will know, have heard the term Thavnair, the region of Thavnair, as it has appeared a lot since back in the early days of Final Fantasy XIV.
踊り子のね、ジョブの発祥の地でもありますね。
If you remember the dancer, most of the original dancer outfits and fashion comes from the island of Thavnair.
サ
Ooh.
ベネア島一つがある人、新しいフィールドとして登場して、そこに、ショータウンのラザハンがあるというふうに思ってください。
And so, one of our new areas is going to be that complete island of Thavnair,
Ooh.
along with the town of Razathan inside it.
これまで登場したこの
見
中アネッカイのようなね、地域となってます。まあ、どんな冒険があるのか楽しみにお待ちください。
The whole area has a very subtropical feel to it that is original to 6.0.
Love it.
もう一個紹介していきましょう。じゃあ
Right, let's take a look at another location.
Oh.
もう一転して、なんだこれ。
What could this place be? It's completely different from Razathan.
こちら、新しいフィールドの名前はですね、こうな
Name
り
of
ま
this
す。
new field?
Yes.
のハブであるガレマルドがフィールドとして登場しますが、なんだか大変なことになってるっぽいですね。
The capital of the Garlian Empire. Garland mold, although it looks a little
Yep.
broken down a bit.
こちらもですね、ちょっと見てみましょう、スクリーンショットね。
Let's take a look at a screenshot.
Dude.
なんだかどんな国だったのかなと思いきや、ボロボロ。
We're going to the moon, Rich.
We always thought
We are going to the moon at
the
some
Garland
point.
Empire is a majestic place, but if you look at it here, it's pretty run down. I wonder what happened to it.
まあ一体ね、どういう経緯
Yup, the moon.
それから光の選手の皆さんはどういう経緯でここを訪れることになるのか。謎ね。
We'll watch the trailer again afterwards, too, as well.
So how did this area turn this way, and why does the Warrior of Light have to go
You
there?
do.
What would he or she find there?
まあここでもね、非常に大きなドラマが光の選手皆さんを待ち受けています。
There's a very deep and intricate story that is related to this area.
まあ行くときはですね。
Same dude. Well, no, not really. I'm actually pretty much caught up.
Journey there.
はい。
But new higher level.
新しいフィールドがあると当然新しい出会いっていうのも出てき
We're
ます。
going up to 90, boys.
And of course, what would new areas be without new tribes to live in them?
はい。
New base tribes!
友人たちとのね出会いっていうのもありますきっと。
So in 6.0, you will be meeting new tribes.
なんか若干このセンターでさ、ナマズをさ、主人公感出してるのイラッとこない。
So this artwork, yeah, you can see right in the middle is the Namazu kind of there, looking like he's the best, the leader.
なんか私が主役ですみたい
Yeah, he's the hero.
Who's to say he's not?
な。今回、まあちょっと一部になりますが、新たな獣人、名前はマタンガ。
Matanga.
その中でもアルカソーダラ族という、種族が登場してきます。
So our new tribe that you will be meeting are the Matanga, and it's the Arkasodra tribe.
これ、すでにね、出会ってる人は出会ってるんですよ。
Some people may recognize this.
アジムステップでですね、非常に敵対してくる、モブハンターがいたりするんですけど、その中でも友好的なのが、アルカソーダラ族で、
Maybe?
サベネア島で
I thought I heard Monster Hunter in there.
So in the Azim step, especially those players that participate in the hunt,
Oh.
encountered one of these very aggressive beings before. However, the ones that you will be meeting in 6.0, you'll be meeting in the Savnir, are a little bit more friendly. At least those from the Arkasodra tribe.
宝の地図ダン
We
ジョン
got some elephant boys.
象モチーフでいろんなね、こうグラフィックス出てると思いますけど、いよいよ
Can we appreciate the Middle Eastern design?
って言われてる。
We players may recognize some of the elephant-like designs from some of the treasure hunts that they've gone on in the past. We're finally going to that area and seeing the inspiration for that type.
Like the Middle Eastern wardrobe does it for me.
もうちょっと、公開お待ちいただきたいと思ってます。ただまあね、月ですしね。
And we have many more tribes to introduce, but we can't introduce them today. Those will be saved for a later day. But thinking about it, we will be going to the moon, so...
ファイナルファンタジーで月か。
It was Final Fantasy
Final
IV.
Fantasy, going to the moon. What could be on the moon?
またご紹介していこうと思います。
Numerians?
That's enough. We'll talk about it later.
はい、当然ですね。まあいい出会いもあれば悪い出会いもございます。
But again, you won't be just making friends.
I think it's
There'll
Numerians.
be threats to deal with.
夜道では会いたくありませんが、まあこんな出会いがあったりします。
And this is one of the things that will be...
It was 4 Lunarians.
ファイナルファンタジー10が好きだという方はちょっとわかるの
Yeah.
かなと思うんです
So
が
if there are fans of Final Fantasy X out there, they might recognize this creature.
Oh my god! That's Aeon!
いう
Or Anima!
出会うことは
Oh my god!
The name is Anima.
That's Final Fantasy X!
ファイナルファンタジー10の時にアニマを作画した
Yes!
ファイナルファンタジー14のアートスタッフでもあるんですよ。彼が14用に改めてアニマを、
Dude!
まあいろいろ理由があるんで書いたのがこちらになります。
And so the original designer of Anima, the art designer of Anima, in Final Fantasy X is actually a member of the art team on Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh!
Recreated the design for anima to fit the Final Fantasy XIV game.
はい、そして、
Anima!
2の新ダンジョンも
New dungeons!
あります。
And like our past expansions, we'll be adding a lot of new dungeons.
こちらもですね、スクリーンショット、
One away, boys! One away! Actually, I'm 2 away on several of them.
Some screenshots and art that we'd like to show you.
I got crossover,
アートになっちゃいます。
8 ran raid.
Mostly art, yeah, I guess.
もうなんか、早くも世界終わりそうな感じになってますね。
Thank you.
Yes, it looks like we're getting close to the end of the world.
なんか、巨大なものも立ってますし、遺跡らしきものも見えますね。
Ruins and large statues.
なんとなくサベネアっぽいから。
Are we counting Final Fantasy X as a crossover event?
It looks a little bit like Thavnair, but a lot different from what we just saw.
そしてこんな場所も出てきて
Oh, that looks
There's
sick.
another dungeon.
一転してちょっと有機生命体っぽい。
It's your mom.
Very biological horror.
No.
さらにさらにです。
I'll explain Anima as well.
This as well.
今度はなんだろう、列車なのか。
Why does it look like Shinra?
Like a train, possibly?
Wait,
まあ皆さん
that looks like Shinra!
今回 6.0 のダンジョン、基本的にはメインシナリオ
Like
で
Midgar!
ことになりますが、ファンタジー要素、それからまあ古い遺跡、それから、現代を思わせるような場所、いろんな要素が、皆さんを待ち構えています。
And so, as usually is the case with our dungeons that we add, you'll be visiting most of them during the main scenario. But this time we have a wide variety of dungeons.
That looks like Midgar.
Some that have maybe ancient ruins, as well as some that have a very modern feel.
変化に富んだダンジョンをいろいろ現在ね、ものすごい勢いで制作
Yeah, we'll be talking about.
楽しみにお待ちください。
We're currently in the process of creating all of these new exciting dungeons.
We'll talk about Anima as well.
それではさらにバトルコンテンツちょっと続けていこうと思うんですが、まあ皆さんが、楽しみにしている大きな要素の一つかと思います。こちら。
Okay, now we're going to talk about another one of our battle contents.
High-end raid, 24-man raid.
希望のそのエデンというシリーズが、パッチ 5.4 で無事に完結して、我々開発チーム、新しい高難易度レイドの8人レイドの開発に取り組んでます。
And so, with the story of Eden finally concluded, we've been hard at work preparing a new 8-person raid.
こちらイメージイラストご用意しております。
It's too early to give details, but we have some art to show you.
Bingo, bitches!
人かな。
This guy kind of looks familiar. Seen him somewhere before.
We're gonna fight an Ascian. What an Ascian.
どっかで見たことある。
Bingo,
This art,
bitches.
seen it somewhere before.
ラハブ
La Brea.
ラヒ
Nice, Nomad.
こちら高難易度レイドのタイトルとしてバンマ
Pandemonium.
というシリーズでお届け
La Brea.
We can tell you the title. The title will be Pandemonium.
はい。
La Brea.
このレイドがですね、どんな場所で、行われるのかという
ラハブレダ
ていきます。かなり特殊かなと思ってます。
So we cannot talk about where this raid will take place. It's going to be very, very unique. Final Fantasy XIV.
まあ今回ね、6.0
The M is Zodiac? Okay, I can see it.
出ますので、まあそれも含めてですね、世界のまあ残された謎にまた、挑んでいくという形で。完全14オリジナルレイドとして、お届けしていこうと思います。
In conjunction with that story that we're completing of the Hydaelyn and Zodiac saga, we plan to tell this new, completely original Final Fantasy XIV story of Pandemonium.
はい。もちろんレイドはね、高難易度だけではなく、アライアンスレイドも、新しいシリーズをお届けしていこうと思います。
And of course, we're not only going to be releasing high-end raids, but a new alliance raid as well.
今、
24.
ドルハ、ダークアポカリプス、ニーヤシリーズ、そのクロスオーバーで進めています。まあ、こちらもね、パッチ 5.5、また楽しみにしていただければと思うんですが、我々開発チーム、さらにその次の
There's Nier Automata right there.
So we're currently approaching the end of the Yorha Dark Apocalypse Alliance raid, which will complete in 5.5. But in the background, we're also working on a new Alliance raid.
で、こちらどんな内容なのかは次のデジタルファンフェスでお伝えしようと思ってるんですが、今回は14オリジナルのストーリー展開でお届けしますが、エオルゼアにある古くからある大きな謎を明かしていくので、まあ14との中の、サーガ完結、1個目のサーガね、完結に向けてかなり濃い話になっていくので、これもぜひ楽しみにしてください。
So we plan to release more info on this new Alliance raid at our digital fan festival. But we'd like to tell you that it is a completely original Final Fantasy XIV original Alliance raid. It is not a crossover. And it will be centering on a piece of Eorzean lore that has remained steeped in mystery for a long time.
結構ね、謎の存在がね、まだ残って
Yes!
Yeah, there's still a lot of questions that haven't been answered for a long time, so.
ヒルディブランドかって言ってるから結
The
構
Hildebrand!
Hildebrand Alliance raid?
I want a Hildebrand Alliance raid now!
ではさらに続けていきましょう。
Alright, let's continue on.
Small scale PvP?
6.x
Some love for PvP,
新
baby!
しい少人数の全く新しい PVP コンテンツを開発進めております。
So we're also working on new PvP content that is more small scale than what we currently have.
まあ、フィーストをね、この先どうしていくの、今ある少人数 PVP のフィーストをどうしていくの
I have
お声も頂戴してるんですけど、僕らが今、計画しているのは、ロールの概念を廃止して、フリーロールでもっとカジュアルに、楽しんでいける、熱くなれる PVP という新しいコンテンツを制作してます。
So currently, our plan here is to create new PvP content that
Okay.
feels more casual and more immersive by removing role restrictions.
で、これまで以上にマッチングしやすく、かつ気軽で奥深くね、レーティングにチャレンジしていく人はいけるみたいなところで、開発を進めています。
And our goal is to make something that makes matching easier than before and casual yet immersive.
Blue Mages in the middle. Do
リ
it.
ワード、その
Coward
報酬に関しても、まあ、単純なギアとか、まあ、ギアとかももちろんありますけど、それ以外に全く新しい報酬カテゴリーというのを用意して、いろんな人に楽しんでもらえるように、鋭意ね、企画の方を進めてますから、進めてるので、こちらも続報にぜひご注目いただければと思います。
And we're also working on a new type of reward system for this new PvP
Okay.
as well that doesn't focus solely on gear. Of course, there'll be gear, but we want to have a new category of reward as well to, again, open this up to a lot of new players.
It's not gear.
はい。
Is it
で、
Mounts?
もちろんね、バトルコンテンツ以外にも大小さまざまな、コンテンツ遊び実装されていきます。
Okay, in addition to battle content, we also have a lot of other content as well.
じゃあ、サクサクいきましょう。
Let's take a look.
まず、新たなサイドクエストも
New?
たくさん
Okay.
拡張といえば実装されていきます。
It's Gear Light with
So we're
Cranberry.
planning to add a lot of new quests.
Good.
今回、その漆黒のヴィランズね、新たにロールクエストっていう仕組みが実装されましたが、もちろん今回も用意されてます。
And with 5.0 and Shadowbringers, we introduced a new system, a new type of quests called role quests. We plan
Right.
on continuing those in 6.0.
で、ただちょっと漆黒のヴィランズと一部変更させていただいてます。
But we're going to be making one slight change to that system.
これまではタンク、ヒーラー、近接 DPS、遠隔 DPS という4つのロールに分けてロールクエストを展開してました。
So up until now, there were originally 4 categories that we split these role quests into: tank, healer, melee DPS, and range DPS.
Triple Triad.
ざっくりしすぎてたなという反省からですね、タンク、ヒーラ
Triple Triad
物理
duel.
DPS、遠隔物理 DPS、魔法 DPS というふうにロールを1個追加して、クエストをご用意しようと思ってます。
But we're going to now be expanding that from 4 different types to 5 different types, making it tank, healer, melee physical
Yeah.
DPS, ranged physical DPS, and magic DPS.
まあその分
Good. Finally, Magic DPS gets some love.
しやすくなるので、クオリティ高いものをお届けしていこうと思ってます。
And this will allow us to focus more directly on each type
Yeah.
of role and make a deeper story.
もちろんギャザラ クラフターの皆さんに向けた5.0 でいう民工芸館のような一つの場所によってみんなでいろんなロールの
Fuck you,
ベースをやっていく
dude.
ところを
I play Magic
用意してます
DPS.
And then there's also plenty of role quests that are planned for crafters and gatherers as well, such as those offered in 5.0's The Christmas.
まあ名前言いたいですけど、大タウンの名前言ってないんでまだ言えないですね。
I want to tell you more about it, but because we haven't talked about the large town yet, I can't say anything.
はい、もちろん多数のね新装備、
Gear and recipes.
用意されてます。
And of course, there won't be just role quests for crafters, but also we've developed plenty of new craftable gear as well.
それから続いてフェイスシステムにも
Trust system update.
あります。
All right, next is an update to our trust system.
今月のフィナーレに向けてフェイスの NPC が追加となります。
We will be adding a special someone to join you as companion.
まあ
Zeno.
知る人いると思うんだよ
A lot of you have been waiting for this guy.
Hildebrand.
な。この方
Yes.
となります。
Esteen.
This is who it is.
新たにですね、エスティニアンが竜騎士として
We're getting the Dragoon.
DPS としてね、参加するので、暁の決命、近接 DPS 足りない問題というのもこれで解決するかなと思います。
So, Estinian will be
Estinian.
joining the trust system as, of course, a dragoon. And then being a melee DPS character, this will hopefully help alleviate that glaring lack of melee DPS characters in.
He's a dragoon. He's from Heaven's Word.
どういった経緯で暁、まあ彼ね結構一人で動くの好きですから、暁と行動を共にするようになるかというのは近日リリースされるパッチ
See
5.0
Naruto?
からそのあたりからのねメインストーリーの流れをぜひ注目していてください。
But again, why would a lone wolf like Estinian join this group of the Scions? You have to wait and find out, but information is coming if you play in 5.5.
裏切りそうって YouTube で書いてある。
No, he won't betray us. He won't betray us.
ファイナルファンタジーシリーズの竜騎士って結構
I want more races.
Dragoons in Final Fantasy usually betray.
まあ一回やってるから多分大丈夫だと思うんですけどね。
He's betrayed once, he won't do it again.
フェイスというシステムの活用は、まあ、これに、まあ、キャラクターの追加にとどまらず、一応今実は計画していることはあるんですけど、まだ今ちょっと計画中なので、今日具体的にお知らせするのが難しいです。
And of course, we have further plans for the trust system, not only just adding new characters, but also making adjustments to that system as well. But we cannot talk about them yet today because it's still a little bit too early.
はい。
Okay,
キャラを
fair.
追加するだけじゃなくて、フェイスを利用してこんなことさらにできるよみたいなところ
Take me now.
中でも進捗があり次第お伝えさせていただこうと思ってます。
Again, not just adding new characters, but also adding new types of activities and types of duties for your companions to take part in. Again, we won't talk any more today about it, but we have exciting information coming up in future producer letter lives.
はい。そしてですね、続いて
Get some sleep, dude.
ゴールド
Golden Saucer update.
コンテンツの追加
Get some sleep, Nomad. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right, we're also planning an update to the Gold Saucer with new content.
Yes.
規模としては
New Gold Saucer content.
ちゃんというものにまあ並ぶぐらいちょっと大きなものを今計画しております。
The current plan is to add something almost as big as the recent edition of Mahjong.
みんなどういうものが欲しいんだろうな。
What does everybody want?
Blitzball.
ブリッツボール。
Blitzball.
ブリッ
Blitzball.
ツボール。
Blitzball. Blitzball. Blitzball.
フォールガイズ。
Fall Guys.
フォールガイズが欲しい。まあね、なんか今回のレイドで落ちたりしてるもんね。あとスノーボードね。
Snowboarding as well.
Ooh.
Snowboarding.
Snow.
お前あたら相撲って言ってる人いるんだよさっきからね。
Sumo, of course.
Sumo.
ちょっとこれまだ詳細が言えないので、ただかなり大きな、しかもプレイヤーの皆さんのキャラクターを使って楽しんでいける、まあしかも誰でも楽しんでいけるような新しい、まあしかもねマルチプレイできるような、コンテンツを今計画してます。これももうちょっとしたら多分お伝えできると思うのでお伝えしていこうかなと思ってます。
We plan on it being, again, like we said, plan on it being very big, something for all players, multiplay, But again, we can't talk too much about it now as haven't enough to tell you. But we do have details coming in the future, so please look forward to it.
Ah, what a tease!
しまうようなクレイジーな14開発チームですから、何が来るのかいろいろ予想をしていただければと思います。
I mean, the team is crazy enough to put the full game of Mahjong into 14, so we know that something big is coming.
続いては
That was a totally tease.
Next, we're going to introduce a new piece of content that we've been working on.
さて何やらね、非常に楽しそうなイメージイラストがあります。
I will mark today if it's Blitzball.
From the artwork, you can see that it looks pretty fun and relaxing.
こちらの、
Are we getting a farm? Island Sanctuary.
So the title for this that we have now is The Island Sanctuary.
ファイナルファンタジー14の世界の中でスローライフを楽しんでいくという新しいコンテンツを今、開発進めております。
We're currently working on this content where Final Fantasy XIV players, adventurers can enjoy a bit of slow living.
They fucking made Animal Crossing into this game!
楽しむことができます。
And again, this is not just something that is limited to crafters and gatherers. Anyone can play.
まあもちろん、
They added Animal Crossing, and they knew what they were doing.
みんなプレイできる。
Of course, crafters and gatherers will be able to do different types of things here, but of course, this is something for everyone.
まあ例えばですけど、
My life is over.
For example, you might be raising animals.
まあ
Raising animals? They made Harvest Moon!
貿易をしていったり、
And maybe cultivating the land of this uninhabited.
They made fucking Harvest Moon!
Of your labor and selling.
ミニオンを放し飼いにしたりと、
made
そういった要素満載
Harvest
のスローライフをね、
Moon
ためのコンテンツになっております。
Maybe throwing your minions out there on the range and letting them roam.
Finally, my minion collection has meaning.
これね、日本人限定の
This is that. This is amazing.
So the dev team has been calling this island the Dash Island from a Japanese TV show.
いや、本当にズバリそういう、
They-
まあ楽しみ方
They
で
made
すよね。
Harvest Moon Stardew Valley.
A deserted island, and you know,
Right.
make it into something that's your own.
まあこちらですね、パッチ
They
6.X シリー
made
ズ全体を
Harvest
通じ
Moon
てアップデートをし
in Final
開発を
Fantasy
進めていくみたいな、構
with
想で今
minions.
開発を進めてますので、ほのぼのとファイナルファンタジー14を楽しんでいる皆さ
Oh
ん
my
ぜひ
god.
期待いただければと思います。
So players will be able to enjoy the activities in the sanctuary over the entirety of the 6.x series as we update it. And so I hope you're looking forward to it and the slow life that it brings.
Guys, my life's over.
現在進行形でですね、パッチ 5.4 で、非常にね、とある地域の復興に努力を捧げてきてくださいました。
Next up is something that I believe you guys are all currently working on.
そうです、皆さんね、
New housing restoration.
強く尽力してくださいました。
So yes, crafters all over the world have poured their heart into the rebuilding of the firmament and Ishgard restoration.
イシュガルドの民がですね、皆さん、冒険者の皆さんに感謝の気持ちとしてですね、冒険者に、
New residential district, boys.
おっしゃっております。
And inspired by that work, there is the city wants to present a new housing area to those that have worked hard to rebuild the firmament.
これまで 4.0 の時かな、ハウジングエリア追加した時と同じで 6.0 がスタートしたタイミングで、冒険者居住区のエリア開放はします。
So, just like we have since 4.0, at the release of 6.0, we will be opening the area for players to go in and look at.
ただほら、やることすごいたくさんあるので、どの土地にしようかな
We already have a house, Rich.
ってパッチ 6.1 のタイミングで購入できるようにというふうにしていきますので、ぜひですね、6.0空いてちょっとゲームプレイ落ち着いたらどうしようかなみたいなのを話し合ってもらえればと思います。
So, at the launch of 6.0, players can go to the residential area and look around and see what might be a good place to get a plot of land. But the actual purchase of that won't be available until 6.1 because again, there's a lot of stuff to do in 6.0 before having to worry about getting that plot of land.
で、区間の数とかは他のハウジングエリアと全く同じ数で用意させていただきますし、もちろんアパートメントもございます。
I have a feeling that
The plan is to have the exact same number of wards as all of the other housing residential districts in Eorzea, as well as having apartments as well.
で、まあもちろんね、全体的にその
I have a feeling that a lot more space will come vacant where we are at now.
そちらの努力も合わせて続けていこうと思います。
And because we understand this is very important for players and a lot of feedback has been given about this, we are continuing our efforts to make sure that there will be enough plots available.
まあ、今回ね、皆さんが復興していただいたのは想定外なので、まあ、全くそれと同じグラフィックかって言われるとさあ、まあ、どうなりますかっていう感じではありますけど、まあ、大体イメージは掴んでもらえるんじゃないかなと思います。
And whether or not it will be exactly like the firmament that you're currently rebuilding now, that's left to be said, but it'll give you a very good idea of what that residential area will look like.
Ooh, that would be dope, dude.
ちょっと駆け足ではあるんですけど、今回 6.0 でね、実装される、まあ一部コンテンツのご紹介、細かいところはまだまだあるんですけど、また今後、ファンフェスでよりね、詳しくお伝えできればと思ってます。
All right, so I think we've covered all the types of new content that we can talk about today, though we have lots more to reveal in future shows.
ちょっと大事なですね、この 6.0 からバトルシステムのメンテナンス大きくちょっとね、2個お伝えしていきたいと思います。
But now we want to talk a little bit about two important updates and adjustments that we'll be making to the battle system.
当然これまでの拡張パッケージ同様、バトルシステムの細かい調整とかジョブアクションの調整、
Battle system adjustments, dude.
新しいジョブアクションの実装というのは普通にやります。これは普通にやります。
So, as with previous expansions, there will be a fair deal of fine-tuning when it comes to the battle system, as well as job actions and the addition of new actions.
で、それ以外に重要なお知らせが2つあるので、その2つをお伝えさせていただきます。
And so today, the two announcements that I want to make are completely different from that.
まず1つ目、バトル計算式
Downscaling values?
デノミネーションというのを行わせていただきます。
So the first big announcement today is that we will be performing a downscaling of the values, the numbers that we use in the calculation.
Yeah?
これはですね、
We'll go buffs nerves.
ライブストリームでもちょっとお伝えさせていただいてたんですが、まあこのタイミングで、やることになるのでご承知おきくださいというふうにお話しさせていただいてました。
So we have discussed this. I have discussed this in previous producer letters, and today I want to get into a little bit more detail.
Okay. Okay.
じゃあまあどういうものなのか、なんでそれをやるのかっていうのをちょっとご説明させていただきます。
So we want to tell you a little bit about what this entails and what it means for you.
まあ新生オルゼアのリリース以降、レベルキャップ解放していくたびに、各ジョブのね、ベースダメージっていうのはまあガンガンこう上がってってますね。
And so since the release of A Realm Reborn, every increase to a job level cap sees an increase to the base job damage.
まあ大きなダメージが出せるっていうのはまあ気持ちいいのは確かに気持ちいい。爽快感はあるんですけど、パッと見るともう数字が大きくて分かりにくいっていうのと、扱う数字が僕ら大きくなるとすごい様々な問題っていうのが生まれてきてます。
So, and I understand that it feels great to dish out a lot of damage to enemies, but after a certain point, it becomes very difficult to easily discern the numbers on the screen, as well as the numbers get bigger, the potential for other problems increase on the back end.
まずこのデノミネーションさせていただく理由の一つ目なんですけど、まあ、バトル計算式は今回変わらない。
Look, guys, you're doing too much damage.
かもしれないですけど、基本変わらない。これは覚えておいてください。
So, here are our reasons for this downscaling. The first thing I want to assure everyone is that we're not changing the formulas, we're changing the numbers that go into the formulas. That is what we're just downscaling.
I'm okay with
これ
it.
プログラム的なお話になっちゃうんですけど、扱っているその計算式に入ってくる数字の桁が大きくなるとですね、プログラム上オーバーフローって言って、数字が一周しちゃうみたいな現象っていうのが起こります、これ。
So this is a programming issue, but what happens a lot of times is when numbers get too big, it can cause overflow and revert things.
As a guess, still go burr.
で、これなんとか実は今まで出てきたバグでも何件かこれにもう該当するものが出てるんですけど、なんとか 5.x 期間中は無理やりやってきました。
Bugs go burr.
We've had these problems in the past in the 510X series, and we've been able to patch them in emergency patches, but it's been just barely.
でこれ以上数値を大きく
Wow.
やっぱパケットのサイズ
Guys, stop being so good.
パケットのサイズを増やしたりとか、そうなるとバグとか遅延っていうのが生まれちゃうので、数字を小さくさせてほしいっていうのがまず理由の一つ目になります。
But again, if data
Me
packets continue to
Same.
increase in size because of these large numbers, it can stress communication loads to the server, and that will end up creating bugs and delays in the game, ruining the experience.
そしてですね、ヘイト計算式も限界に来ていてですね、扱う数字が大きい
You guys, too much enmity.
で内部的にはもうキャップにずっと張り付いてる状態を無理やりこう位置下げたり上げたりっていうのをやってたりするので、もうこれ一周すると数字ゼロになっちゃったりするので、今ちょっと強引な対応している状態で動いてるんですけど、これらも整理させていただきたいと思ってます。
Next we come to like tank enmity, and for example, this has already been pushed to its limits to almost its max, and we're doing our best to put a band-aid on this by temporarily lowering that enmity, but it's creating a lot of problems, and we can see it to the point where it might get so high that it reverts back to zero and creates even more problems.
The healer has the enmity.
表示限界、数字がたくさん並ぶじゃないですか。あれがもう入り乱れまくる。当然描画領域をすごい食うので、これもちょっと表示限界に来てます。
The next problem is that we have the size of the flying text numbers when you deal damage and the number appears on the screen. These numbers are so large that it takes up a lot of space on the screen, as well as it's starting to affect the graphics rendering.
そして敵の最大ヒットポイントがもうめちゃくちゃな数字になっていて、これももうオーバーフローの原因になってしまう状態になっています。
Now with player damage being so high, the boss HP has seen an absurd increase, and this is causing problems as well.
パッチ 5.5 次に
Oh, the highest HP pool. Okay.
登場するとあるボスの最大ヒットポイント。
20 mil.
So, to prove our point, I'm going to show you the amount of HP that a certain boss coming in 5.5 has.
こちらです。
440 million!
4億4000
In 5.5. That's not out yet.
140 million HP.
この4億4000万をみんなで削り切る
You're asking, you speak so much as you're making Yoshi P cry.
I'm sure that the Warriors of Light will be able to get this much HP down.
I want to fight this boss. I want to fight God.
どうなんのっていうのをちょっとじゃあ結局どうなるのっていうのをご説明していきますこれから。
So let's talk a little bit about, then we know the problems now. What are we actually going to do to alleviate that?
Fighting God.
レベル51からレベル80までの数値の差っていうのが、小さくなります。
So the first thing we're planning on doing is truncating the character growth from levels 50 to 80.
例えばですけど、レベルが一つ上がると、適当な数字で言いますよ。
Experience is going to be that big too.
で、その 5% の積み重ねでどんどんプレイヤー数字でかくなっていくんですけど、それをレベル51から80までの間をちょっと圧縮させていただいて、極端な話を言うと 1% ずつしか強くなりませんみたいな形の調整をさせていただきます。
Okay, for example, again, the numbers that I'm going to be giving here are not the exact numbers, but this is just for an example. For example, you have the amount of progress that you make, the amount of that your attributes will go up after gaining one level. Let's say that it will be plus 5%. For levels 50 to 80, taking that from 5% up after each level to, say, 1% up after each level.
特にヒットポイントとか火力の上昇の差っていうのがこれまでに比べて当然少なくやっぱり
Yoshi P teaches math.
And so this will again look like it's affecting player HP as well as the amount of damage that a player deals.
なのでちょっとアクション一撃のダメージっていうのがこれまでに比べるとやっぱり数字がちょっと小さくなることになります。
And so what this will appear to look like is that when you deal damage, it will look like your damage has gone down.
で、その一方でなんですけど、
Technically it will be.
81から今回ね、6.0 でレベル90までキャップが上がるので、レベル81から90までっていうのはこれまでのと同じ体感の成長度合いじゃないとつまんなくなっちゃうので、特に先端にいる皆さんは ここの割合、成長を感じていける割合っていうのは、今までと同じ感覚になるように
I'm
する
here
の
for
で、
this.
改めてレベル51から80までをギュッと圧縮して、81から90までの成長
Yeah,
を感じ
basically.
ていく部分っていうところは、今までと同じようなね、成長をね、ギア取り替えたら、強くなったっていうのがちゃんと手応えとして出るような形にしていこうと思ってます。
That said, again, if we don't preserve the sense of growth that one might expect from a new expansion, from that raising of the level cap, that could also be problematic. And so what we want to do is we want to maintain that sense of progression between the levels 81 to 90. So while we would be truncating that progress from level
I like it. I'm okay with this.
And compressing that down from level 81 to 90, we will leave it in a position where it will feel the same as it does for every expansion for those final 10 levels, those new 10 levels.
I like it. I'm okay with
同
this.
時にですね、やっぱり経験値の値も今ものすごく
Yes!
数字を扱っているので、経験値のネクストまでの経験値とか、
When is
そういった
this
経
taking
験値を
point?
全体的にギュッと
5, 5,
します。
6?
Experience point values are also becoming too large, and so we'll be lowering them as well. And at the same time, we'll be reducing the amount of EXP needed to level up.
I'm okay with this.
次のレベルまでに必要な経験値もギュッと減りますけど、敵からもらえる経験値も減るんで、それで
Earning a million EXP is just kind of like
Again,
meh.
relatively, it'll be the same. It'll be, however, you'll be getting less experience for defeating an enemy, but it will take less experience to level up.
まあも
Good.
ちろんね、拡張新しく出てキャップ上がるんで、その分のレベル
I'm okay with this.
また調整していきますけど、
And again, we do, as we are releasing this new expansion, we are, going to make it easier to level up. So that is going to remain.
でまあ当然プレイヤーサイドの攻撃力、ダメージとかね。
Good.
上がる
Okay,
から
that helps
モンスター
too.
のヒットポイントやダメージっていうのも当然それに応じて小さくなります。
And again, this is not only for the players, because player HP and attack
Right.
Numbers will be going down.
Math
Do
go
the same
burr.
thing for monsters as well, and so relatively everything remained the same.
で、まあ結局どうなるかっていうと、まあプレイヤーが弱くなるわけではないん
Means
です
we're
けど
kicking too much ass.
数字は小さくなりますけど、体感の感覚、やり取りしているものに関しては変わりませんと。
So what we want everyone to remember is that
I want them to
players are
to
not
tell
getting
about.
weaker. The numbers are going down, but relatively everything is staying the same.
I want them to announce a new race at the end of this. Like, you sat through math. Let's give you a new race.
ございまして、レベル例えば80の状態で、過去のコンテンツへ、強いまま行くみたいな。
You sat through math class. Well, here, have some male Vieira.
しまうと思います。
There is one thing, however, that will be slightly affected by this change, and that is playing as undersized parties. For example, as level 80, going back and playing some of the old content as an undersized party, this may become more difficult.
ここはなんとかそのね遊びとしてその確立している部分もあるからなんとかしたいとは思ってるんですけど、今のところこれでなんとかなるだろうみたいなのがちょっとまだ見つかってないので、まあなんとかできる方法があればとは思うんですけど、ちょっとその部分に関してはちょっと今のところプレイヤーがねどうしても弱くなってしまう部分かなと思います。ただ普通に制限解除とか関係なく遊んでる分に関しては数字のやり取りが小さくなるだけで別にプレイヤーが弱くなるわけではありませんよっていうのを、ご理解いただければと思います。
Regarding these undersized parties, we understand this is a large portion of what a lot of players enjoy doing, and so we understand that this is still something that we need to address.
Okay.
As to how we're going to address this, we're still in the process of finding that.
So is that 5, 5 or 6?
Otherwise, we want to again reiterate the fact that while the numbers here are going down, the player is not getting weaker. It's all relative.
さて、大体
You sat through math. Give us something cool. Yoshi P teaches
I
math.
think that's about it.
大体今のレベル80のですね、僕の黒魔同士のファイジャー、530のファイジャーで、大体5万キルぐらい、ダイレクトもクリティカルも入らなければなんですけど、ダメージ。
So to give you an example, currently my own player, I'm a black mage at level 80 with item level 530. If I use Fire 4 with no crit and no direct hit, I deal about 50,000 points of damage.
だいたいそれがですね、1万ぐらいかな。
We expect this to go down to about 10,000.
で、まあ、
Okay.
そこからレベルが上がっていくと、またいつもの拡張のレベル1個ずつ上がっていった強くなった感覚っていうのは、やるので、まあ、大体5分の1ぐらいだと思ってもらえればと思います。
And of course, this will go up as the level goes up, but think of it as about reduced about 80%, down to about a fifth of what it normally was.
で、これは
I'm okay with this.
長期運営をやっていく上では、ちょっとどうしても避けられないポイントなので、今日冒頭ね、お話したように、これからもっともっとファイナルファンタジー14続けていきます。だから、今回やったとしても、また10年ぐらい経つと、もう一回デノミネーションさせてくださいというタイミングが来てはしまうと思います。
Hey, kiddo.
でも、長く続けていくっていう意思の表れだと思って、ご理解いただけると大変助かります。
As we mentioned at the top of the announcement showcase, that we expect Final Fantasy XIV to continue for many, many, many years in the future. And to ensure that we can do that, this is one of the things that we feel that we need to do. And that said, possibly another 10 years down the road, we might have to do this again. But again,
X
this is basically
goes
we're doing
bird.
this to show you that we're committed to having the lifespan of Final Fantasy XIV keep going for many, many, many years.
はい。では、もう一つ、システムのお話をします。
All right, and then we have one more battle system update that we'd like to mention.
Q14 から、
Teddy's belt's coming off. Yoshi P. The belt's coming off.
なんですが、
Many of you remember back from 1.0, we had this item. It was there, and even though it was removed graphically, it remained.
ついにですね、削除と
The belts! Belts on belts on belts.
The belt era is over.
まあ
In his zippers.
影響がないっていうのと、アクセサリーとしてね、数値影響っていうのもまあ低いことから、とにかくこの帯防具って人気が低い。で、あまりチェストワークはでも他と一緒だし、アライアンスレードではもう邪魔だからドロップしない。
Those zippers was already done.
言われたんですよね。もう
It's laces.
今回消そうということになりました。
So again, as you know, belts have no bearing on players' outward appearances. Their stat values as accessories is pretty negligible.
Not the belt, Yoshi.
Not a popular piece of equipment. Yet they take up the same amount of space in our armory chest as other equipment. And we've even had lots of fans ask us to just stop dropping them in alliance raids because we don't need them.
で、リングはっていう声もね、
Not the belt, Daddy Yoshi.
Also complaining, talking about the rings, but
指輪もすごい検討したんですけど、やっぱり
You got 10 fingers, don't you?
グラフィックスの指輪をつけるっていうことで、おしゃれに使ってる人っていうのもいるの
More rings.
やりませんでした。
And regarding rings, while we did consider this, we also understand that a lot of players, because you can put them on both hands and you can actually graphically see them on your players on both hands, we decided that we're going to not do that this time.
で、結局どうなるかっていう説明をしていきます。
So we need to explain what's going to happen with this removal of belts.
まず 6.0 以降、帯防具は装備不可。
That drops the amount of tomestones I need.
At the beginning, at the launch of 6.0, belts will no longer be equipable.
Your pants will fall
装
down.
備中のまま 6.0 を迎えた場合には自動的に外れて遺失物管理人という NPC が預かることになります。
So what happens to any belts that are equipped at the time of that switch over to 6.0? These will automatically be unequipped and moved to a Calamity Salvager.
リテーナーが装備した
Not the belt, Daddy Yoshi.
管理人に我々移させていただきますので、何かこう無理に急いでし
Hey,
な
kiddo.
きゃいけないっていうことはないようにさせていただきます。
This includes retainers as well. So there is no need to rush and unequip any belts before that transition to 6.0. Everything will be moved to the Calamity Salvager automatically.
Okay.
マテリアをね外して
But what about the armory
置い
chest?
ていただきたいです。
However, materia, if you want to remove materia from it, you should do that before 6.0.
で、 各コンテンツから、それからあと交換とかからです。
Thank God I didn't make my money on belts, huh? Thank God.
Belts will no longer drop from any duties and will be removed
duties.
from Allegan Tonestone exchanges.
じゃあ分かったよ。
But what about crafting them?
もう分かったよ。じゃあその都市防具の35は
So now that we know that the belts are being eliminated, what happens to those
The armory
5
chest.
slots that
Eh.
belts took?
15
Yes!
枠を主武器、そしてもう15枠をリー
Yes!
グの方に
That's been my big
15
problem!
枠ずつに拡張します。
The plan is currently to take 15 of those 35 empty slots and allocate them to main arms.
Yes!
Another 15 will be allocated to rings.
で、おいおい、5枠残ってんじゃねえかよっていうところは、すいません、これからもなんとか枠を拡張していく努力のためにもですね、5枠ちょっと一回リザーブとして僕らに預けてください。
And so there's a lot of people saying, well, wait a minute, 15 plus 15, that's 30. What about the other 5 slots? What's going to happen to those? We're going to take those and we're going to save them for a rainy day in case something happens. So we're going to keep those on reserve for now.
すいません、よろしくお願いします。
Sorry, but thank you.
はい。まあ近づいてきたらね、また詳しくトピックスでお知らせしていこうと思いますので、
I'm so happy.
してください。
We will have a more detailed explanation of the removal of belts in an upcoming topics.
ではですね、そろそろ、今日お伝えできる情報っていうのも、少なくなってきたんですが、ここで、まあ、長期的に作ってきた新しいシステムを最後に、お伝えして終わっていこうかなと思ってます。
All right, so we're nearing the end of our announcement showcase, but we have one more system-related thing that we'd like to talk about that we've been working on for a long time.
New system, okay?
こちら
Data center travel!
という仕組みを、現在開発しています。
So currently we're in the development of a new system called the Data Center Travel.
Dude!
ですね、今、ファイナルファンタジー14に存在している、まあ、ワールドを超えて、別のワールドへ遊びに行く、ワールド間テレポっていう仕組みがありますが、
So all of you know about the current system that we have that allows players to move around between worlds called the World Travel System.
それをですね、まあ、
Dude!
全くそれと同じ機能っていうのは、ちょっとサーバーの作り的に不可能なので、一旦ログアウトは必要なんですけど、キャラクター選択画面から他のデータセンターへ遊びに行くっていう新しい仕組みを今回、開発中です。
So while this won't work exactly the same way as the world visit system, we hoped that it can be similar, although it will require, again, changing the system outside of the game and then logging back in.
Okay, fair.
その代わり他のデータセンターへ遊びに行った場合に、フリーカンパニーとかリンクシェルのチャットができないというちょっと、ワールド間テレポよりは制限が強いんですけど、友達に会いに行ってパーティーを組んでコンテンツへ行くみたいなことっていうのはできるので、また改めて詳細にできることできないことっていうのを
So with free companies.
皆さんにお伝えしていこうと思います。何はともあれデータセンター
What's up, Hawk?
友達のところへ遊びに行けるシステムだと思ってください。
And so there will be a lot of restrictions with this, possibly even more than there are currently with the world visit system. However, this will allow players to move freely to other data centers temporarily and party up with their friends, take screenshots, have a lot of fun.
Dude, that's awesome!
経済どうなるのって方いらっしゃる
Never be sorry for that.
ワールドカンテレポの時も皆さん
We're gonna recap everything.
実害ほぼないので
Hey,
シ
kiddo.
ミュレーションをします。
Did you get a hold of the computer?
So there are some people that might be worried about what effect this might have on data center and world.
Kiddo
economy.
probably got the computer.
There was the same worry back when right before we started the world visit system as well. But it turns out that the change, the effect was negligible. And of course, we're going to be doing some simulations to make sure that that's the case here. So we don't know
Hey!
that it will affect as well.
Thank you for the follow, one.
さて、まあ大体これ
Yoshi P looks exhausted.
終わりが見えたかな。
All right, so I think that is pretty much all that we have.
Pretty much all.
Pretty much.
ちょっと待って待って。
Hold
ちょ
on,
っと
hold
待
on.
ってよ。
Is that a guest developer?
知ってる人の声する。
I think I've heard that voice before.
おー
まず何かですね、皆さんにお知らせしてないことがあるんじゃないの？
Are you
あ
forgetting something important to tell our
Eh?
players?
重要なお知らせですよ、重要なお知らせ。
Something really important.
ー、社長。
It's the CEO.
はい、あれを表示して。これ
Do I
Is it in
upgrade?
follower mode?
え何
No, it is.
あった。
PS5.
PS5
Yeah, it's on player follow mode.
版のオープンベータ、
I didn't realize that.
データ。はい。
4月13日から開始します。
そう。
So the Final Fantasy XIV
There you go.
PlayStation 5 version open beta will begin
Yes.
on Thursday, April 13th.
いや、ねえじゃないですよ。
Yeah. What's going on here?
いよいよ PS5 版のオープンベータが開始します。
I think for a while I had it for shout out stuff.
Open beta will begin soon.
これ次のパッチと同じ日なんでしょ？
And this is the same day as the next patch, right?
嘘でしょ、こ
No,
れ。
you can't say that.
言ってなかったんだけど。
言ってないです。マッチ5.5の日付は、ちょっと、まあ、
We haven't mentioned the release date for 5.5 yet. That was
ああ、そう。まあ、だけど、まあいいよね。
Oh, it's okay, right?
同じ日です。
So it's on the same day.
この日にやります。
April 13th?
ちょっと、まあ、ちょっと準備を一生懸命やってきた PS5 版で。
I mean we've been working on it, yes, but
それと、もう一つね、大事な、せっかくだから、ね、PS5 版の動画持ってきたので、ぜひ皆さんに見てもらいましょうよ。
I actually brought some footage from this PlayStation 5 version.
はい、じゃあ流してください。お願いします。
Play the video.
Yes. Yes. Dude, that looks so good. That looks so good. Upper Lanos. Oh, those load times. Oh, those are fighting words there, bud. Those are fighting words. Open beta, April 13th.
あ
No.
ー、すごい観点でやった。
oh, and
This has been a nerd
多い
fest.
でしょこれ。
I heard it's quite amazing.
いやいやいやいや、すごいですけど。
it is amazing, but
じゃあ、パワポ出ちゃってるんで、僕からちょっとざっくり説明させていただ
Right.
こうと思
okay,
います。
since we have appear to have a
よろしくお願いしま
PowerPoint,
す。
let's go and talk about it.
まずですね、今回 PS5 版 4K ネイティブ対応させていた
I
だい
like
て
it. I like it.
So first off, the PlayStation 5 version will be featuring full 4K resolution support.
そしてね、今ちょっと動画の方でもご覧いただきましたが、あれまあ PS5
I don't have- I mean,
そのものから
I don't have a PS5, so I mean-
がまあ、超高速ロード PS5 売りです。
I'm a PC player, so-
あれ実測タイムなので、スピードでエリアチェンジできるようになります。
The new Left 4 Dead game is going to be
You
great.
saw that was actual PlayStation 5 footage, and so you saw there the teleport and the quick. load
Yoshi
time.
P has a
That is,
has a
again, one of
PS5?
the PS5's main selling points. That is the actual speed at which players will be able to teleport.
そしてですね、フレームレート、当然ですね、PS5 の、性能非常にパワフルなので、それを活かしてですね、フレームレートを大幅向上させていただいてます。
As you know, the PlayStation 5 is an extremely powerful system, and that will help us significantly improve the frame rate for the PlayStation 5 version.
ですので、今回、用途に分けてまたオプション設定増やしていこうと思うんですが、PS5 の
Dude,
場合は
I'm so excited for this.
とにかくグラフィックス至上主義で遊びたいよっていうモードと、
So
I love the golden
currently
saucer
we're
music in the
planning to have
background.
Two different modes for the PlayStation 5 version. One mode being the 4K version, where those players that want to play Final Fantasy XIV at its most beautiful
Okay.
まあ、2K とか解像度を下げてもいいから、とにかくフレームレート爆速でド安定で遊びたいんだっていう人の、
Quality versus
これはファイナル
performance.
タイムにスイッチできるんで、切り替えてお好みで遊んでいただければと思います。
And then a second mode that we have planned is our full HD 2K mode that focuses more on frame rate and optimizing that frame rate.
Okay.
Players will be able to go into config and change that in real time in the PlayStation 5 version.
I'm down for this.
PS4 版発売された時も覚えてらっしゃる方いらっしゃると思うんですが、パッチを当てるたびにですね、PS5 バージョンに PS5 ならではの特性を入れたアップデートっていうのも行っていく予定です。
And as we did when we first released our PlayStation 4 version, we plan on continuing to make improvements to the PlayStation 5 version over a series of patches.
はい、まあそんな感じです。
So yeah, that's about it.
で、お値段は
And what's the price going to be?
これどうなの
じゃあちょっと、まあ、ちょっとじゃあ僕から社長に1個お願いがあるんですけどいいですか？
Okay.
いいですよ。
So
go ahead.
I have something to ask of you since you're here today.
僕として
No charge. No charge.
があるのでちょっと見ていただきたいです。
Okay, so this is what I want to do, and I want you to take a look at this and see if it's okay.
ファイナルファンタジー14の
What?
PS4 版のプレイ権をお持ちの方は、
That's a game changer.
サービス始まったらもう月額課金払ってくれてるならもうそのまま
They get an upgrade, no extra charge.
っていう風にしたいんですけど僕的には。
So basically, what I want to do is that anyone that has a registered license for the PlayStation 4 version, I want them to play the beta version, and once the beta version ends and we begin our official service, as long as you're paying that monthly fee, to be able to upgrade immediately to the PlayStation 5 version.
だから簡単に言うと今
That's
PS4
awesome.
で遊んでる皆さんはそのまま PS5 でも遊べちゃい、まあ簡単に言うとまあそういう風にしたいんですけどどうですかね。
And I want players to be able to, those playing the PS4 version, to be able to basically, move over to that PlayStation 5 version without having to do anything.
That's amazing.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Dude, that's a good business move.
So it's for our players. Let's go with this.
社長太っ腹。
Thank you.
ね、これもぜひ、皆さんのためにぜひ、PS5 版、試してプレイしてみてください。よろしくお願いします。
Yes, so we are doing this for our players. Please look forward to the PlayStation 5 version.
That's a genius business move.
いや、これというわけで今、私決済取れましたんで PS4 版のお持ちの方は追加のもう費用なく PS5 版にもうアップグレードしていただけるというふうに確約取れましたんでもうそれでいこうと思います。
They just promised it.
Who have the PS4 version and that registered license will be able to upgrade to the PS5 version without any charge.
なので今 PS4 版の権利をお持ちの方はもう PS5 版のファイナルファンタジー14のパッケージも買っていただかなくて大丈夫です。
So those of you with that registered license and the PS4 version will not need to purchase the PlayStation 5 package.
ですのでもうなんとか本体だけ手に入れてください。
You won't need to buy the PlayStation 5 package, but you'll still need to try to find a PlayStation 5.
Yoshi P with the jokes.
まあPS5 にね合わせたグラフィックのさらなる機能の追加とかっていうのは、順次アップデートしていきますのでそちらも楽しみにお待ちいただければと思います。
And as we mentioned before, we plan to continue updates to the PlayStation 5 version, improving graphics, improving performance with future patches.
ではですね、そんな太っ腹な、社長からですね、世界中の光の戦士の皆さんに一言ぜひね、ご挨拶を改めてお願いします。
Let's get a few words from our CEO before we
はい、改めまして、皆さんこんにちは。スクエア篠本です。
Hello everyone, this is Yosuke Matsuda from Square Enix.
今日はファイナルファンタジー14新情報発表ご視聴いただき
I love it.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Final Fantasy 14 announcement showcase.
ここまで
By the way, Blitzball.
情報ありましたが、今のPS5 のオープンベータ、それからまだこれからもまた情報があるようですので、ぜひ最後まで、楽しんでください。
Well, as you saw today, including this PlayStation 5 version, a lot of new information was revealed today. Please enjoy to the very end of this presentation.
そして、
That's a weird thing to say.
皆様のおかげで10年ここまでやってこれました。本当にありがとうございます。
And Final Fantasy XIV has managed to continue for 10 long years thanks to you, all players around the world.
That's us. Everybody who's played, give yourself a pat on the back. We did it.
これからもファイナルファンタジー14を聞いていきます。そして開発チーム一同ゲームをもっともっと盛り上げていきますので、ぜひこれからもファイナルファンタジー14をよろしくお願いいたします。ありがとうございました。
And as Yoshida himself mentioned, he'll keep working on this title, he'll keep leading this title, and the development team will
Dude.
keep working hard
You would not.
to make more progress in this.
I would need a blood transfusion.
はい、スクエアニックス代表取締役社長の松田洋介でした。
I would-
社長ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
I would black out from lack of blood to my brain, dude. Yes.
やれやれ。
Yada yada.
ね、しまいましたけど、プレイステーション5版もぜひ楽しみにしてください。
Yeah, we weren't expecting to announce that today, but we'll be releasing the PlayStation 5 version very soon.
まあ、オープンベータとかね、詳しい詳細また後日でお知らせしていきます。基本的には本体持ってるのすぐにまとめるイメージしておいてもらえれば大丈夫かと思います。
More information about the open beta will be revealed in upcoming topics. But long story short, if you have that PlayStation 4 version and the PlayStation 5, will be able to play.
Did you tell him why you got him? Give him a pat on the back.
気味ですが、本日の新情報発表会はここまでとさせてください。ただ、まだまだ隠しネタが存在する行月のフィナーレ、エンドウォーカーですが、次の情報公開、ファンフェスで行っていこうと思います。
Alright, and so we're already over our time limit here, and while we still have a lot of information to talk about, we're going to
Good.
do that for future events and the fan festival. So we have one more thing to show.
こちら、2021年5月10日
May 15th, 16th.
2日間で
Nice. Should we do a stream those 2 days? 15, 16?
So our final announcement today is about the Final Fantasy Fan Festival 2001, our digital fan festival
That's Saturday, Sunday.
in the world, which will be held on May 15th and 16th this year.
まあ、いつものファンフェス通り2日間丸本品尽くしの、ファンフェスをやっていこうと思います。もちろん、音楽ステージも2日間
Have some food inspired by the game.
And just like all of our live Final Fantasy Fan Festivals, we plan to have 2 days full of content, including live content.
で
Yes.
まあ、もちろんデジタルなので全世界に配信もしますし、まあ、可能であればねリアルで集まってもらえる方には来てもらうっていうのを考えたいですし、僕らもそこだけじゃなくてちょっとねゲームの中でもみたいな感じで丸2日間モニターとかゲームを通して14を楽しめるファンフェスをやっていこうと思ってます。
I want to go and see
We're
that.
planning to have this fan festival again online, so all players all around the world can attend. Possibly even players that are here in Japan might be able to attend in person to see if that is allowed. But we want to have a full 2 days filled with a Final Fantasy experience, packed with content, have it feel like an in-game type of thing.
そしてですね、ライブストリームで世界中にと
And we're doing it in Fortnite now.
全て音楽を含めて
Dude!
全て無料で
Including the live concert.
And so, because weekend is going to be online, we want to tell
That feels good.
in its entirety, the concert will be free.
まあもちろんだからクライマックスのライブとか
A concert!
まあこういった音楽ステージとかも、ストリーム無料でお届けしていこうと思ってます。
So a lot of people out there are thinking there'll be, for example, a Primal's concert. There is, it will be streamed live. Or
Yes!
まあ、ただちょっと注意点、音楽にはいろんなゲストの方とかいらっしゃるので、アーカイブからは映像がね残らないようにす するかもしれないので、ぜひですね、リアルタイムに視聴していただけると大変助かります。
Just one thing though about the live performance is because it does involve people that are not affiliated with Square Enix. There is a chance that after the stream, while the stream is free, after the stream, it might not be archived. So make sure that you catch the stream in real time.
なんかコメントでですね、太っ腹すぎて心配なんだよなって。
You're worried that we're giving too much?
あれ払ってもいいんだぞ。
People are even saying that, oh, we're willing to pay.
そういった方はですね、ぜひこのファンフェス記念アイテムを購入していただけると助かります。
So those of you who are willing to pay, we have something for you to pay for if you like.
まあ気に入ったら、
Lunar whale!
Of course, this is not required. This is if you would like.
You know, I'm like,
今回、前回
take my money, Yoshi P.
便利ですね、バイク。
A lunar whale.
開始しましたが、今回、ルナホエールというマウントを、
Be gentle with my wallet, Papa Yoshi.
させていただいて
So as you remember with our last fan festival, we had Cloud's fight Fenrir. For this digital fan festival, we're planning to have this mount, the Lunar Whale.
Please be rough.
昔のデザインを再現しております。
We're actually used Yoshitaka Amano's original artwork as a base for this design.
Please be rough with me, Yoshi P.
Actually, this has already been completed, and so we have a video to show you. Take a look at it.
Dude, this whale is... Dude! I mean, how many? 7-seat mount! It's gonna be a whale of a time. Seven-seat mount! I'm sorry, 8, yeah. It can hold an entire alliance. That is a big boy. It's a big boy. That's an entire party, a full party.
This is Final Fantasy XIV's first ever 8-person mount.
はい。さらにですね、このファンフェス記念してもう一種アイテムがございます。
We also have one more type of item available. Actually, 3.
Oh my god. Be rough with my wallet. I know, I did that joke already.
いろいろ期待できるかなと思いますが、今日からミニオンとしてエッジ、ローザ、リディアのミニオンが記念として発売となります。
And because a big part of the Endwalker story focuses on the moon, we decided to go the route of Final Fantasy IV, which also took place somewhat on the moon, and take characters from there and create minions from them. We have Edge, Rosa, and Rick.
You know I'm buying those, right? Also, Hawk, they added Animal Crossing to the game.
We plan to have them available for purchase on the same day, that first day of the Final Fantasy Fan Festival on May 15th. Please look forward.
はい。ファンフェスの情報もね、今日この後 PLL とかまたちょっと触れていこうと思います。
Regarding the Fan Festival, we have a little bit more information to give you, and we plan on doing that in the letter from the producer live that is coming up after this showcase.
Yeah, they added an island sanctuary where you can grow crops and things like that. With minions and stuff.
Over our time limit, but I think we're finally finished with today's showcase.
いやー、腰大変だったね。ごめんね。
That was, yeah, it was okay.
いやー、皆さんも本当にありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
それではですね、ハイデリンゾディアーク編のその衝撃のラスト、ぜひそれをですね、震えてお待ちいただけたらと思います。
With Endwalker, we're finally approaching the climax of the story of Hydaelyn and Zodiark, so please look forward to it.
I love this art. I love this art. That art is just,
最後にちょっとね、これ補足ですが、
it's stirring some things in me.
イメージラフト
And so this is actually the last thing that we have. Here's some artwork that we had especially created for us by the master.
Hydaelyn versus Zodiark.
どちらが悪でないと天地
I want to hang this on my walls.
デザインでぜひお願いしますというので結構無茶な特例注文お願いしたんです
I want to paint this on the side of a van.
Told them that we wanted something that was, whether you looked at it at the top or the bottom, you have a different sort of image, that there is no good, there is no bad, there's darkness and light. And I think he did a really good job.
I want to paint this on the side of a van next to the wizard on a mountain.
ストーリークリアして見るとまた
Headphones.
思いますのでぜひこれらも
Oh, that's why it's
全力で
weird.
これから進めていこうと思いますのでどうぞお楽しみに。はい
All of them.
This,
Just wall to wall.
Illustration, there's a lot of stuff hidden found in the story. To look at it now and speculate. We also would like you to maybe take another look at it after you complete the story, and it'll take on a different light and show you things that maybe you hadn't seen before. So we really enjoy the art and hope you do.
改めまして全世界の光の戦士の皆さん本当に長い時間最後までご視聴ありがとうございました。
Right, to all of our warriors of light watching us from around the world, thank you for staying with us for so long.
多分この後日本時間午後3時から今度はプロデュースされたライブがございますのでそちらでまた後ほどお会いしましょう。
But we're not done yet because in just a couple hours at 3 o'clock Japan Standard Time, we have the letter from the producer live where we talk all about 5.5.
はい、ありがとうございました。
See you then.
Love it! Love it! Please look forward to it. I'm so freaking pleased with it. My God Almighty. I am uncomfortably aroused. Okay, so let's swap over to this screen. Just kidding, we gotta make this stop. Dude, cat. Let's go ahead and remove this. Okay, let's go ahead and show off the trailer again. Dude, cat, you gotta stop. The cat is just bashing her head into my arm. Like, dude, you gotta help me, man. You gotta help me. I'm trapped. Oop, didn't want that. Collect the clap. Yeah, the cat's just like bash, bash. Okay, this is the trailer that we watched. Oh no, wait a minute. No, it's not. That was released a month ago. Endwalker trailer. Is that up yet? I don't want a reaction. No. They don't have the trailer up yet. So let's talk about the Sage reveal. Looks like Penny from Ruby. So that was... Yes, I'd like to do that, please. That was the trailer. Let's remove the bingo board as well. There we go. That was the trailer for the new class that I will be playing. Sage, Barrier Mage. A Barrier Healer. Okay, so there are new things that they're adding to wrap up. Hey, buddy. To wrap up is they're adding what's called Island Sanctuary, where you can like grow crops, sell the crops. It's basically a Harvest Moon Stardew Valley within Final Fantasy. So we'll get to have our minions out. We'll get to do a lot of things. It's the slow life. Anyone can do it. Not just crafters, not just gatherers, not just the disciples of the hand. So tanks, healers, magicians, that sort of thing. Anyone can do it. So you can go in and... I don't know what specifically they're going to have, but you best believe, and you better believe your ass, we will be doing some of that. Because there's something to be said about like how popular Animal Crossing is, how popular like Stardew Valley is, how popular Harvest Moon is. Those games are incredibly popular, and I love those games. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people, such as even like my wife, could come into the game who may not be all about the battling of things and be like, yo, I want to do more of the Island Sanctuary things. And maybe that'll be viable. I don't know. That's ultimately the thing. I don't know. We did find out as well that we are also getting a new... we're going to be fighting a new trial. We're going to be facing up against Anima. And if you don't know, Anima was from Final Fantasy X and was the representation of darkness and death, even though dark wasn't an element in Final Fantasy X. So that's also going to be really, really cool. It's basically the delete button for everything. So we get to summon it in Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X. Okay, I am back. Okay, so like I said, we are getting Anima, which will be really cool. So, Anima was a great summon, so we should be able to fight them. Who knows what else we're going to get to do. So, that is Final Fantasy X added into the mix. So, there may be more stuff coming from Final Fantasy X. So, maybe Doug's dream of us maybe getting some Blitzball, that may be a possibility. We don't know yet. I seen one screenshot in there that looked like a train. And for me, trains really, they remind me of Midgar, Shinra specifically, where you take the train into Shinra at the beginning of Final Fantasy VII. So maybe something from there. I don't know. That would be dope. Let's be honest. That would be really cool. Because with Final Fantasy VII, possibly, that could possibly be bringing us into maybe one day facing Sephiroth. Maybe. Maybe not. Who's to say? So, the big thing that they touched on is it is going to be the end of the Hydaelyn Zodiark saga. So, for those who don't play, which I believe is Hawk and Joe, for the most part. Well, Joe plays, but the storyline is not there yet. You're good. Okay, so Hydaelyn and Zodiark are basically... think the devil and God. I think would be a fair comparison. So let's read the before Final Fantasy XIV and for both Hydaelyn and Zodiark, right? So for Hydaelyn, it was created to keep Zodiark in check. She came into being when a faction of Ascians, disapproving of the Convocation's summoning of Zodiark and their plan of harvesting lesser lives that would develop on the planet to resurrect the Ascian sacrifice for Zodiark's creation. So, basically created to fight Zodiark. So, let's talk about Zodiark. Zodiark was the embodiment of darkness, will of the planet made manifest, and the first primal. Within Final Fantasy XIV, primals are basically deities. For all intents and purposes, if you believe hard enough in something, it becomes a god. They're basically like, they're called icons. If you believe something hard enough, you know, you get to create it, basically. So, like, if you believe in, I don't know, the Kool-Aid Man hard enough, and enough people offer worship to the Kool-Aid Man, theoretically, the Kool-Aid Man within Eorzea, the world of Final Fantasy XIV, can become manifest and actually can become a primal or an icon. So it's pretty cool. They're concentrated aether, let's put it that way. So, he was the original one. Came into being when the Convocation of 14 sacrificed half the population to induct a summoning to avert an impending calamity that befell their world. So, what that is they're talking about their impending calamity. So for those who have sat through my pseudo Final Fantasy XIV lessons, the calamity basically was the ending of the world in 1.0, Final Fantasy XIV. So, the calamity happened, the world got destroyed, and then we got Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. That is jumping a little ahead, but the calamity was the end of 1.0. It was the end of the world, and they attempted to summon Zodiark to avert that. The Convocation member with the title of Edelbis made himself the first offering to form Zodiark's core. Though the calamity was averted, Zodiark enthralled the Convocation, who sacrificed another half the race to restore their lifeless world to habitability. A faction of these remaining ancients under Venat disapproved of Zodiark's presence along with the Convocation's plans to harvest the lives of the new races that would develop on the planet in the future to resurrect those they had sacrificed. So, basically, dude didn't like it that people were sacrificed just to save other people. So it's kind of cool there. So, Edelbis sensed this from within the Zodiark and separated himself to resume his duties in the Convocation as a primal that peacefully resolved the conflict between the two groups. However, Venat's faction sacrificed himself to summon Hydaelyn. So, half the population was sacrificed to summon Zodiark. A faction decided, bump that noise, we need to stop that. So, the faction that did not like that sacrificed themselves to summon Hydaelyn. Basically a light primal. So if you think about it, a quarter of the population is now all that's left. Because half was sacrificed to form Zodiark. So then that group, the rest of them, split up basically, went, no. And they was summoned Hydaelyn. So we're getting smaller groups. So Hydaelyn was a primal who had opposed Zodiark with the power to divide things into weaker reflections. The two primals battled until Hydaelyn's decisive blow against Zodiark, and with him, the original world split into 13 reflections and the source. The ancients, their souls divided, mostly forgot about their original existence, powers, and society. The source is basically where we get all of our power. It is the planet, basically. So it's kind of cool. It means that we got created from it. And it basically divided the world into 13 reflections. So each of those reflections is dominated by an element. So in the most recent patch that is out, Shadowbringers, we went to a world, or one of the reflections, that was dominated by light. And as anybody knows, too much of a good thing is, it's not a good thing. You can eat too much kale and then you just feel sick. Well, that's what happened. Too much light and the world suffered. Too much darkness and the world suffers. So you'll see where it's going. Like the different reflections quite possibly are being dominated by different elements. So we already have seen light and dark. So that's actually kind of really cool. That offers a lot of possibilities. So this war has been going on, Hydaelyn versus Zodiark. So this new ending, this new expansion, I should say, as I'm butchering it, Endwalker, we're going to see the end of that saga. It's like reading the end of, I don't know, World War I or World War II. The world didn't end, it's just ending for that. It's just that section of history is over. That section's done. We're no longer in the age of Hydaelyn and Zodiark. We're going to be bringing that to an end. And when 6.1 starts, so begins a new story. So when people are going, oh my god, the end of all Final Fantasy XIV. Well, first of all, they said it wasn't the end of Final Fantasy XIV. So what are you doing? But that opens up the world for more stories. There are more reflections. There are more characters, more possibilities. The world is endless. So they can keep updating so long as people keep an interest. And that's honestly where I'm like, I love everything they're adding. Like adding an Eidolon Sanctuary, that's a genius move. Because people who aren't that into the combat section of the game, well, they could be more into the Island Sanctuary part of the game. And that's awesome. And there will be people who don't care about either. And that's also really cool. Oh, I am super pumped. Okay, they finally have the teaser trailer up. Why is there two of them? Ah, right. Multiple languages. Okay, let's watch the trailer again. Whoops. That's not right. There we go. Derrick streams once in a while. Okay, let's pop up. You're fine. I was just getting messages and I actually had to time you out. It's getting distracting. Okay, this is the official trailer again. We are going to the moon, ladies and gentlemen. I am so pumped for this. So I'm looking forward to this with so much. My body is ready. Boom. I love this look and music. Agreed.
The final days were upon us. The fabric of the star had begun to fray, its lands rent by tooth and claw.
Paladin, baby.
Are you all right? I can look after myself, you know.
I love that weapon. I love it. Fall 2021. Yes, please. Can I go ahead and just, go ahead and hibernate till then? Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's going to be a lot of new content. Like this, we're getting more levels as well. So max level right now is 80. We're going to be going up to 90. So I think I'm okay with that. 100 would be dope, but at a certain point, you got to kind of go, don't need it. But I'm really looking forward to it. Honestly, if you're looking to get into it, it's a possibility. There's always the free trial, and that's always great. You can play it on PS4 or PC, and if you get it on the PS4, you get it on the PS5 should you ever get one. So, your choice. And you can play the free trial there as well. It's also a really time to get back into it. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be grinding. They're going to be doing more content. So there's going to always be people online. And if you're here, and you're interested in playing it, there's people that beyond myself, who will be interested in helping you out there. We've got myself, we've got Doug, we've got Rich, we've got Pixel who's playing it now, and we've got Joe who's working on the trial right now. So there's plenty of people to kind of party up and do stuff and do cool stuff. They're allowing us to play through Heavensward for free. Through Heavensward up to Heavensward for free, which is a lot of content. You have a couple of levels up to like level 50 to figure out, do I like this game? So they're giving you over half the levels. Maybe fair, and that's perfectly acceptable. I'm not here to be like, play the game. I'm not trying to twist anybody's elbows or anything like that. But the offer's always there if you need help, or you're thinking about getting into it, but you're not sure where you want to start. There's always places on the Discord to talk about it. I have a free company Discord as well. For those who are in the free company, we get them over there. You just got to level 11? Heck yes. You'll be unlocking the first dungeon soon, and we can either fast track you through it or just kind of casually do it. And either way is perfectly fine. I'm super excited for this, honestly. Like, in fall, there's going to be a lot of content. And I've already decided that when May 15th or 16th comes up, I'm gonna probably do a special stream of the FanFest. I kind of want to get I kind of want to find drinks inspired by Final Fantasy. Heck, maybe I'll even work on a Final Fantasy costume. Who knows? I can't promise anything, but it would be dope, right? Just to get excited for something. Like, granted, we're not gonna get to do it in person. If you pay after that, I don't know. There's always the Harvest Moon section in 6.0 coming out. I say the Harvest Moon expansion, you know what I mean. It's the Island Sanctuary. But I kind of want to get into it. Kind of just have a little bit of fun. There's going to be concert there, and I'm super looking forward to it. Generally, the band called the Primals plays, and they're pretty good. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Fall, there's going to be a lot of content. So for now, right now, the Final Fantasy content, it's not stopping. Let me be very clear, it's not stopping. We're going to keep on the challenge train. We're going to keep leveling up different classes, because we're getting another DPS class, first and foremost. So that'll be fun. We get another healer class, which I'm working on a healer right now. Max leveling that will be super fun. So then we can upgrade their armor and then we can go into 6.0 carrying a black mage with high armor, or so a damage dealer with high armor, or a healer with high armor. So we're going to have some options. I mean, after that, maybe I'll level a tank so I can go, you know what? Regardless of what comes our way, we'll be ready. We'll have a tank, we'll have a healer, we'll have a DPS. We'll have people who are there who can do it all. I know Doug specifically does a lot more tanking. I know that Rich does a little bit of DPS and things like that. So it's good to have someone who can kind of pinch hit and do whatever. You like Pokemon Go, that's your type of game, that is perfectly fair. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more content coming. We still got 5.5 coming out soon, which I think that may be coming up pretty soon, actually. They said they were going to talk about it in the live letter that'll be up tomorrow. But I'm not streaming tomorrow, as Nomad is doing his 24-hour birthday stream. That would be kind of, as the bird people say, a dick move to stream over somebody else's event. Specifically, somebody else within the community. So, yeah. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I did want to say that on Monday, I think we are going to switch up a little bit. I've been talking about streaming another game with a couple other people called Rogue Company. It's a shooter FPS game. So I think that'll be kind of fun to kind of switch it up. Because like I've said, Tuesday is reset day for Final Fantasy. So Monday is kind of like the, oh my god, last minute things. And, it's good to kind of switch it up and play some other games with some other people. So I think that's going to be really fun. So just one day is going to be switched up for now. But for Final Fantasy, we're going to continue on this train. I'd really like to start doing more of the main storyline. I'm going to try to do the main storyline within the streams. So we're going to get to experience all this new content together as a group. So I'm super excited for it. And honestly, I hope my excitement is contagious in the level of it gives you something to be excited about as well. Or you're like, I want to be excited about something as well. Maybe it's Pokemon Go for Joe. Maybe it's the Left 4 Dead for Hawk. Find something you're excited. The excitement tonight was palpable. God, the excitement was just amazing. And I'm so happy for it. And I'm amazed. So I'm continuously amazed by everything we're getting. And honestly, I'm continuously amazed by you all. You all agreed. You all came and watched me cheer on something that really is really nerdy. We're cheering on an announcement of an MMORPG, which is pretty nerdy, right? I'll also be putting this up on YouTube as well. So that's where we're gonna be going. So I'm really excited. I don't think I'm going to be playing some Final Fantasy tonight. Weirdly enough, it feels like my upper lips are starting to... Upper lips? I only have one upper lip. My upper lip is starting to swell up a little bit. I think I, hit it or something, and it feels a little weird. But yeah, I'm super excited for what's going to be going forward for us. Like I said, there's going to be a lot more Final Fantasy content. I'm kind of wanting to do a little bit more Final Fantasy, YouTube stuff. So maybe that's a thing. And if you're watching this on YouTube later, future people, let me know what you think. So, okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. It is getting to be 11 o'clock. We have streamed just about the same amount of time. Yeah, I don't know what I did. It feels like it's like swelling, but it's not. So yeah, look forward to more content. Like I said, Mondays is going to be a different game. So yeah, I appreciate you all. Hawk, Joe, thank you for hanging out. Doug, if you're still here, appreciate you much, dude. And yeah, we'll see you all. Too much talking, never such a thing. Be sure to check out the Nomad Dude tomorrow. They are streaming some Halo for a birthday stream. Let's go show Nomad some love tomorrow. I think it'll be super fun. It's a 24-hour stream, so it'll be at some point. But yeah, I'm super excited. I look forward to everything that we got going on, and I hope that you all have a wonderful night. No, I know. I can't shut up at all, can I? I hope that you all have a wonderful night, a great weekend. Whatever you're doing, be awesome. And Hawk, don't go too crazy in quarantine. Remember, keep your felonies to the minor felonies, and don't tell me about it so I have plausible deniability, unless it's really awesome, at which point, speak in code. So, until next time, I really hope that you all have a great weekend, and I will see you later. Peace!